it didn't do the opening. I guess it's your boy Andrew Elixir, senior yapologist, and it's the Misplay for Game podcast, Misplay for podcast in general.
Hi guys, it's me, the Misplay for Game logo. I'm sorry I missed my mark there. Sometimes stuff happens, but today I'll be played by your friend the TommyNT, or Tom. Hi, it's nice to see you guys.
I'm with Bet and Monk.
Is that it?
This episode's going to be full of Batman references if you weren't ready for it. Marcio's kind of on a Batman thing right now.
Yeah. The Tibetan monks taught me how to podcast, actually.
Read my mind again, dude. I can change what I'm thinking.
I wish they taught me how to podcast, because I cannot produce, apparently.
I'll astral project myself to what the fuck?
Hey, yeah,
okay.
we're off to a good start.
Hey, yo.
Oh,
dude,
that's crazy.
Scrambling your mind with Tibetan monk powers.
Yeah, I can astral project myself to do a podcast and test BT21 at the same time. I'm on things that like people don't even know what cards do, okay? I'm actually testing EX9 right now.
Yeah? How's the Greymon doing? It's that thing from Vanguard you really don't like. The like you reveal face down and you're just like, oh, I hope it wasn't my trigger.
Oh, the gauging? Yeah, that sucks.
Yo, buddy fight, my favorite.
This is a buddy fight podcast. It's broadly a card game podcast, to be fair.
If you say it's a buddy fight podcast, that Terry will actually like be permanent member number 4. Like we would never have to get a guest because Terry would just be like, "Oh yeah, my buddy fight slop, nom nom nom."
We can finally fulfill our role of being the Beatles of bad card game podcasts. Of the Beatles, guys, which ones are you? I kind of. Well, go ahead, Mercy. What were you gonna say?
I would love are we the Beatles or?
No, go on, dude. Are we the Beatles
or? Are we the Beatles or we're Weezer?
Oh my god!
I think we should be Weezer because I think there's more not like questionable people on Weezer.
That's true. Also, oh my god, that's not really a thing for the podcast, but the bassist from Weezer's wife was killed recently. Did you guys see that? It was on Reddit. It's just like a thing. She was killed by the LAPD.
Oh.
Anyway, welcome to Misplay for Game. I don't think we're Weezer because none of our wives have been killed by the LA Police Department.
Can you quickly give me a Weezer riff?
In a bit.
Yeah.
Thank you.
You're so welcome. I'm gonna get that recorded and have it on a button on my keyboard. I got a new keyboard recently, so I can just like rip some macros and stuff. That'd be fun.
Oh hell yeah.
Yeah, look at that. Real optimized content here on Misplay for Game.
Hey, what if that was actually just played with the jingle? That's that we talk about like, man, Misplay for Game should have like an opening like thing. What if it was just that?
What I've been saying for a while, I'm gonna make a theme from M-Gage because I want it to be more like a parlor TV game show. But what if it was just a Weezer riff, but in like minor key, and this sounds like wah 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 wah.
Why
chat
is chat like a
a
typewriter? What is going on? Yeah, I mean, once again, it's a live podcast. The fun thing we always say to people, if you enjoy listening to the sound of our voices, we say things that are barely on topic for card games. Make sure to rate us on everything you watch it. If it's Twitch, hit follow if you haven't already. Gives you mono coins to be used for devious purposes in our live game shows that we play. For YouTube, hit the like button, subscribe if you haven't already. Rate us on Spotify, Apple Podcasts. We're on all we're on those. I nearly said all the good stuff, but that is kind of, throwing Apple Podcasts a bone. But if you're on Apple Podcasts, I appreciate the people that are actually on there, making me pay that subscription. But yeah, we're nearly at 50 members. Kind of crazy. I looked today. We're at 48, so we're nearly at the big 50. So it's a great way to support the podcast for as little as £1 a month. You can support it for free though on Twitch with your Amazon Prime. If you're the main account holder, you can do Twitch Prime for free. It's a great way to support us. If you do it during the show, it turns the overlay a funny color. I think that was basically all of the things I had to remember.
That was an exceptional plug. It's like we're kind of pre-ready for ad reels. Maybe we should get signed for a network or something.
Yeah, that'd be really cool. I love
executives that aren't replying to my emails.
I love money.
I was gonna say, dude, do you know Deezer still is a thing? Like people still like consume content through Deezer.
That's crazy. These nuts.
Yeah. Thanks, Marcia. That was really funny.
I thought that's what you were doing.
No, I thought about like dismounting the joke with a D's nuts, but actually it's just a thing. People are still out there ripping that.
I've never not ripped it.
Yeah. The Pandora heads are out there too, I'm sure. Hey guys, you been playing card games? Because like this is the Digimon, this is the scene people expect of us, right? We like a lot of Digimon here, but like there's been other stuff I've been playing too. I've been playing Pokemon. Yu-Gi-Oh just got a ban list. Yu-Gi-Oh ban list is funny, dude.
Yeah, it looks good.
Yeah. That's what I've been doing. I've been having a lot more fun doing that, and I'm just like, fuck, dude, I really have to like go to store regionals to get my invite when I could just be playing Yu-Gi-Oh instead. Yu-Gi-Oh is so good right now.
Yeah, I've been playing so much Pokemon, and I have 4 Digimon regionals next month.
That's why
it's going great.
I'm taking April off. Like up until like next week or week after, I'm basically like not investing myself in Digimon just because like, yeah, I could theoretically test BT21 stuff, but like the format, the cards look low power enough that like it will be people on. As long as you don't get scammed, anything current format should be able to like handle those decks pretty well. There's like an outlier. There is an outlier, but
yeah. Are you guys interested in doing like a super casual, like just podcast acquaintance? You guys have seen him here, but overall great dude in the Digimon space, Huang Zero. Huang and Zero both did like a starter deck review. If you guys haven't seen the Adventure Primer, please go do it. It's like a great example of like what other card game primers are in the context of how they could relate to Digimon. That's something we don't get a ton of anymore. So go check that out. That's really cool. But like the reason I bring that up is because we're not going to cover the starter decks immediately all over again. Because like y'all, if you want to go learn about the adventure decks, they're already there. Oh my God, we got a blue light. Thank you very much.
The goes are coming through with the 7 months in a row. Appreciate you. The primo.
That's the go. But yeah, we literally just like you're gonna get more out of that. But like I have a couple thoughts on a couple of the archetypes in 21 that I thought could be fun. We could do that. Pre-release is next Friday, so I have
already.
Pre-release for the starter decks is next Friday. I don't actually know how that relates to like product for BT21. I'm not super caught up on the pre-release schedule right now. I just expect that like within the next 2 weeks I will arrive at one of my locals and there will be a box and I will buy a box. You know how it works. But I thought that could be fun. We could rip some of that. And then we do have Andrew mentioned earlier that you should follow to get your channel points. That's true. And you're definitely going to build them up because there's something bigger coming up later. Have we announced? Do we typically, like, we've announced guests in the past. We have a guest next week that's going to be super exciting.
Yeah, normally, if you're in the Discord, which you should join the Discord if you haven't, we do usually on the Monday of, we announce the guest of the week by subtly changing a role and not pinging anyone for it. But yeah, we got the artist formerly known as Miti Kage, formerly known as Digimeat, formerly, I think he had one more, but I've forgotten the third one.
Digimeat was my fave, but it did go crazy.
Yeah, Digimeat was my fave. But yeah, Miti Kage is joining us for the podcast next week. And letting us know how his newest sleeper endeavor is back. We're probably just going to talk some stuff, talk about content creation. Yeah, should be a fun one. It's been a while since we've had like a prominent YouTube figure guest. Prominent YouTube figures that enjoy our content.
Yeah, I was gonna say it's April. It's been a minute since we had DigiDread on. Yeah, here we are. Oh, but yeah, I thought we'd meet you guys up for a BT21 quick run through. Just have a little look at some of the stuff.
Always.
Mostly I have a feeling we're both typically just gonna be like, dang, this ain't done. Like I have so much to say about Hero as an archetype. It's just not finished. Same with like Wind Guardians.
What was up with the pods from the Ultima Cup? Was it like they were hosting multiple Ultima Cups? And
yeah, as I understand it, there's because it's capped, right? So like if you're at an event and it's online, or if you're online or you are playing at an IRL event one, they are player capped now. So you fill in the pod up to a cap. So like there were 2 at Glasgow on day 2.
Right.
We played the 3v3, like the 3 of us all did. So like that didn't change anything. But yeah, Ulti Cup pods are. I think this is NA's first like event with Ulti Cup pods, which is cool. I've seen a couple of results and stuff. We could talk about some of those. Although I have a feeling like those are going to continue to trickle out over the weekend, and we might have more to talk about. But yeah, there's a lot of cool stuff in the dying weeks of the BT 2.5 Finanza. Fellas, I'm excited. Yeah, I just want to I feel like kind of we can do it broadly by archetype. I'm excited for Medusa Mon.
Mm-hmm.
Like Owen Dreadnought, I was a hater. I did not much care for him. He was kind of a boring Seto Kaiba looking ass. He is no longer a boring Seto Kaiba looking ass. That guy has great taste in Digimon cards. Medusa one's really cool. Progress is like a keyword I'm excited about. If you aren't sure what that does and you're listening in audio, progress is a keyword that they've added to exclusively this archetype so far. That is just while you're attacking, effects don't affect this Digimon. Your opponent's effects don't affect this Digimon. So this is like I would describe it as like a sort of combo-oriented tempo deck where it's like the game plan is to produce a stack that can go up, trigger like 4 or 5 effects, and leave a debilitating token on your opponent's board that basically just means they have more and more risk for interacting with you on the board. It's a very like proactive red deck, which we haven't had a ton of recently. But it does burn security, which is really fun for me. And so I'm very excited. The whole archetype, like Dragonkins and stuff too. So like Dorbic Goo, you know?
My only issue with like the Medusa deck is I feel like it's maybe too linear to its like own fault and maybe somewhat inflexible. Like it does have tools like the War Greybot like as a comeback tool is neat, and like it has a game plan that is like not relying on the opponent. I mean, it is very red. It's just like murk your opponent.
Yeah, it's very mono red. Does one thing really, really well.
Yeah, but my thing is like how well is that thing in like our current like landscape? Because like most of the Liberator decks, they're while they have like independently like good cards, it is a little bit tough. Like none of them have really been like amazing from their first wave. Like it always feels like they're missing something. This one less so because it does feel like it did get like kind of 2 pieces of support. It has like the Reptile Dragon can add back stuff, like the filler line, I suppose.
Yeah, I think they did. Was gonna say like I feel like they've learned from the complaints that people have had about like I'd say the most complete decks would definitely be like Orisa and Shoto, like getting starter decks and an EX set at the same time. But I think like all the other side characters, it's been like the same complaint is like you get your one line and you get some backup pieces that aren't great, but these backup pieces feel like they've at least kind of thought it out a little bit. But I mean, this deck realistically, you're getting in early, but if the second set is pushed as hell.
It's like it's at the very least like for what's worth, some of these cards are just Dorbic support cards, right? Like
yeah, the deck I said this to DHM, friend of the show, the other day, and I actually think people building Medusamon as the focus might actually be incorrect. I think Medusamon is a fun thing you can now do in Dorbic, and I think like can we just talk about the Owen Dreadnought for a sec, because that's the card in this deck right now. Like it is, I think it's end of turn blitz basically.
I think the Cyber does a lot in terms of like triggering your ESSs without attacking, so you can use them as like an extent. Not an extender, but if you're like low on memory, like you push out a 4 evolve into him, double inherit, gain 2 memory back or whatever. Like you have a 1-cost Evo, and then you can like at least keep turn evolving to Medusa and at least play the game. I think like people are underestimating how good this card is. It's also hand loop, like in some capacity. Like you're kind of fucking with the opponent's hand, which is like something red doesn't really have. So that's
I can't believe it's 4K. 4K for Dorbic is so insane. Like this on its own power creeps out so much that like people for a long time were playing like the EX1 Tyrannomon to just squeeze in that extra little bit. And like
4K is unbelievable.
It's so insane. So yeah, like Marcy said, the Cyberdrome one's nuts. And then like the War Greymon you kind of alluded to, it's like it's as good as you can legally make an uncommon.
It's uncommon Death X.
Yeah, it's an uncommon Death X mon. I'm excited though. I think the Owen and Medusa as like a second package is really strong, but like
Have Store Regional's been announced to the UK. Oh brother.
Yes sir. Yeah, I think there's 4 that are public or for Digimon right now. There's Manchester,
that
Wakefield,
are 64
London
or above.
Yeah, there's a 64s and then there's a 32s. Like if you're planning on going to London to Darksphere, that ship has sailed.
Yeah, it's sold out.
Yeah, sold out in an hour. Yeah.
Great sign, to be honest.
We had an insider and I still got cooked.
We did say this would happen. Hopefully that Bandai takes the hint and they're like, oh my god, people really want to play their card game. I'm not sure. I got mine.
It should. You should help it sell out. We need 4 invites.
Yeah, get me and Andrew and Marcio invites, please. Otherwise, well, If hypothetically, boys, if you guys were asked to cast EU finals, would you do that over
Yes,
playing?
I'm not trying to play. My ticket there is a backup.
Casting finals, Marcio.
Yeah.
This time it's not. You guys don't have to watch poor Yaw do it all on his own again.
I got some business though. I'd do it.
This year, it's because like last year I was like, I put a lot of time in prepping into it, and maybe it will change how I feel about the event towards like if I end up getting my invite, because like I don't think it'll be impossible for like people like us to get our invites. I think it is just right now everybody's scrambling for it, but like there will be enough events, especially like throughout the year, and I wouldn't be surprised if they do like last chance qualifiers type stuff for people to get their invites, because like what people have to understand is like there's going to be like a massive drop off in attendance because the event is supposed to feel more of like a premier event. Like it's not going to be a case of like you just rock up and like it makes for a fun holiday with your friends when you go play Digimon, but it's going to feel more like this event is like, you know, the event for like the top players. So it's like good and bad, but yeah.
Responding to something we got in the chat, they're saying they're not on the event list. I kept up with mine, finding it on the Bandai app. That's where I found all my information. But you just keep your eyes peeled. It's kind of all it is to it.
Yeah, it's always worth looking at asking your
intuitive.
local game store, because one of the things that we found out, because we, you know, frequent a couple of game stores, is it's like one per region per game. So your local game store may not be the Digimon representative for your region. Fanboy has Digimon, but we know one of the other stores that is unfortunately close enough to Manchester that I think it's looped in with Northwest. They're supposedly going to be doing One Piece, but they were denied Digimon. So it's worth asking your local game store if they've applied for anything, and if they end up with Digimon, and kind of like if they lost out on Digimon, who it got given to in your region.
Yeah, and then to the other question is like how many people get invites. It's basically just scaling on the attendance at these capped events. It's like what, 4 is the most you can get
at most.
for
like
top 64 or a 64 player event.
And I don't even think you need to hit the 64 player cap. I think if you just get 48.
Yeah.
48. Okay.
Yeah, as long as you get 48, I think the event gives out 4 invites, which means that like you as a player, realistically, you don't have to win. You just have to make top 4. So, and I believe they are planned to be 5 round events.
Yeah.
So if I lose 2 rounds, I drop at Dark Sphere. Not if I lose 1 round.
Yeah, if you're X1, you're realistically fine. It just depends like who you lose to.
One thing that's also really important as well is that if you have someone that already has their invite, store regional invites do not float down. Regional invites, I believe, do float down, but store regional invites do not. So if you happen to play local to someone that already has their, you know, Nats invite from Amsterdam or Glasgow, and they're just in you know, they're showing up to your local store and they run your fade every week, they could absolutely just take one of your stores like store regional tickets and just tear it up in front of you. Like they can just like take that away from you for no reason.
Much like a certain Batman villain I know, they could show up and be like, "Why so serious?" and rip up your invite. Wouldn't that be funny?
Yeah.
Guys, get it? We were talking about Batman.
I think, yeah, the Tibetan monks can't stop me from going to the European finals.
They're doing their best to stop
the Tibetan monk's name is Jambo.
Yeah, I will not be Elemental Hero Bubble Man all year long, though. I will not bubble again. That's the cope. Anyway, that's regionals. You want to talk more BT21, guys?
We can look at some BT21.
Maybe I'll save Hero for like a separate Boko rant.
Yeah, we can do that.
Because I have a lot of thoughts about Hero that I don't necessarily think fit the context of what we've got coming up later. But if you want my 2 cents, guys, it's not done yet. And it's kind of
wishy-washy.
Yeah, I would never choose to play Hero over individually just choosing one of the archetypes contained within Hero. That's kind of where I'm at the moment. And it's just like a opportunity cost thing.
Yeah, like you said, we'll go over it maybe as this week's Boko, but I think it's really interesting that they've gone the reverse way of like, you take stuff like Royal Knights and Demon Lords, where they just like, they release the whole package, they get it right in one. And like the cards individually may not be as good for their own archetypes because they're supposed to be slotted into this like toolbox. Whereas this time they've done the opposite thing where they made like creme de la creme pieces for each of their archetypes, and they're like, try and get them to work together. They kind of, hey, like the amount of times where you see or hero card, you go, in what world would I ever, like, what?
I feel like they're conscious that they can, like, you know, from now until the end of time, probably one Gamamon card per Gamamon expansion will give you a hero tag. Like, I just sort of assume. Speaking of Gamamon's like nuts, but like we're not even gonna get into that because we're gonna save that for later.
Are we skipping over like anything hero related?
No. I'm just talking about hero. Like, obviously Gamamon is great in its own deck too, and if you want to talk about Gamamon, I have good things to say about Gamamon as well. That deck's great.
I think that's fine. The deck is pretty solid.
Yeah, I think it's like at the cusp of being the kind of deck that I would choose to take to an event. This card's great, but it's the delay for me. This is something kind of unique to this set as well. It's like the same with BT17, where like all of the really strong delay cards are here.
I would say it's the kind of deck. Yeah, I would say like the Gamamon deck is one of the few like red decks with a ceiling, as I like to think about them in my head. Like, there's a couple of red decks that are like, this deck is as good as the pilot, and it's like not always obvious when the deck is like strong. Like, it's like birds, right? Where it's like the Gamamon cards, if you know how to move the cards around, if you're a true pioneer, you know, you can get some real mileage out of them. But like, for example, the red hybrid stuff, those cards are just like good, man. Like, I don't know what you want me to say about red hybrid. It's just like, yeah, they got another Aguni and another Burning Greymon, and like, the Aguni evolve. Wait, sorry. How does this card work again? You place a hybrid.
The Takuya is a start of main Evo.
No, but the Aguni like loads something.
Yeah, the Aguni lets you stack a source. And they hypothetically,
and then it evolves or costs -1, so then you can evolve into the Alda, and it's like, whoa, free level 5, PogChamp.
You can also, like, this Aguni is legitimately very powerful for basically every deck that plays Agunimon. This card is a like one-stop shop for you to make the end of turn Emperor Greymon as well. Sorry, Ancient Greymon. Like, I don't actually think people should be playing Ancient Greymon, but like, credit to the Bandai team, they did do the thing where they're like, oh, this supports Takuya and friends, and it supports like Red Hybrid is weird because it's almost 3 decks now, right? It's like Emperor, good stuff. Red Hybrid, the way we liked it in BT13. And then Ancient Greymon. I'm like, this card supports all of that because you can evolve over the Mem Setter, end of turn evolve, and then it goes full combo into into an Ancient. In Takuya and Friends, this card does not cost more to evolve over Tommy or Zoe. This is the first one that now just costs 2. So you can use that to stack one piece out from your hand or trash underneath underneath that Digimon to just keep adding the colors for Susanomon. And then, like you said, like, this is also kind of just good Emperor Greymon.
Yeah, it's also interesting that this is the first, like, all of the Agudimons, you were like, yeah, they're functionally better than the vanilla, but this is like the first time they've actually gone, okay, the vanilla is actually now straight up unplayable because this is power crept in every single facet, which is really interesting.
Only took up, what's it called, 5 years. Good job.
I will say the red hybrid stuff is like, red hybrid is not getting anything that they don't need. In fact, like, all the cards that they're getting, the reason why Ancient Grey was so good was because like it was faster than a traditional red hybrid deck, which, you know, goes to show like if the premier, you know, face hybrid deck was getting outsped by a version of itself, then, you know, maybe the Aguni did need to go. But these cards facilitate like Aldamon beatdown in a way, both new and old.
The new Aldamon is so good. Thank you for calling that out. This card is sick. It just cuts down on so much of the space we used to take up in a like red hybrid toolbox build for Tamer playing. And this is like a deliberately aggressive piece. Like, obviously costing... does it cost reduced when you've got Burning Grey underneath?
When any of your Digimon with Aguni or Burning Grey in Digivolution cards with Digivolve reduce the cost by 1. And
you have to slide once. They want you to go... They want you to go swing a Aguni.
If either has the other, then you're good.
Yeah, they want you to go swing a Aguni evolve into the Burning Greymon, then the Burning Greymon will trigger the effect that because the security was removed, it then evolves into the Alda, and then you get a second check off of 1 swing to accelerate like your damage a little bit, because otherwise you're just not killing in time, because like Emperor Greymon brews tend to scale into the mid game as opposed to like killing on turn. I mean, they can still kill like really early, but I always think of like Red Hybrid as like an aggressive mid-range deck as opposed to like an aggro red deck.
And the goal of this card is to float, right? Because like 8k no
yeah.
You want to the first level 5 you promote, assuming it's this one and not BT7s. The intent is to make this thing go in and do damage because you're getting your DP sources from other things. Like the Burning Greymon will absolutely roid rage you, and you give yourself piercing so you can do some collateral.
Yeah, I said that looking at the stuff on the card and just forgot what deck we were talking about.
Yeah, like it's a level 5 over 2 4s, so you're getting twice the value.
Plus Takuya.
And Takuya too. So the fun thing about this is the next one that just always triggers Takuya's memory inherit if you're on the BT12 Takuya. So like this costs 3, but like in essence it's still kind of, instead of going +1, you pay 1, but like you still then get the value of playing another tamer. And like if you had Flamemon plus Aldum or Gunimon, like it's 3 tamers and you spit out Zoe, Takuya, Tommy, and you just do a donut on people. Like, sick.
The other thing is like I want people to think about the new pieces with the context of the BT18 Emperor Greymon, because that card, it unsuspends and then it triggers an attack. So like if you think about the deck in the sense of like, okay, I'm swinging a 4, sliding evoling to another 4 into 5, 1 or 2 checks, then evolving to the BT18 Emperor Greymon, that suspend something, trashes sources, and then attack. Sorry, it doesn't unsuspend. No. Am I trolling?
So when Digivolving for each card in this Digivolution card, trash one of one Digivolution card from an opponent's Digimon and suspend one of their Digimon. Then this Digimon may attack. Your turn. When this Digimon deletes one of your opponent's Digimon, it gains
it unsuspends.
and unsuspends.
You had the sequence right, not the timing.
No, okay. Am I
but
trolling?
This thing, it does still regularly do 2 attacks per turn, and then the second one can be ending the game at end of turn timing.
The promo.
Oh yeah, the new promo is that card's nuts. What number? I don't actually remember where we're up to in the promo numbers now.
185. It's when did you next to after the purple option.
It's the last card there on your screen.
Oh, this one. Cool.
Yeah, because his thing is like he deletes something with DP as same or as less of him, gains DP, and then unsuspends at the end of your turn. So you know, Red Hybrid now has a blocker, which is like for a deck that had no defensive lines, getting a blocker is like not insignificant.
I mean, it's a blocker or it's another attack, right? Because it's unsuspend and then end of turn Takuya Koji lets it attack. So you just resolve the end of turns in either order to get a blocker or to get another attack.
Oh, that is true.
Yeah, so this card is just
forgot
flexible.
about that guy.
It's super strong. And obviously it's nice too because this evolves for 4 instead of evolving for 5 like the other one does. So it's not as painful to climb a stack into this thing. But then evolving for 4 over Takuya Koji is choice. Because you can actually guarantee your passing turn and low choking with this card, which is super cool. It's just, again, like Marcy said, like it's a very mid-rangey red deck, and having that utility helps it a lot. I guess the green part of the promo is the DP, but it's not got as much green flavor as the other one. And like the suspend is really good on the other one. So like, don't get me wrong, I will still use this card because it's like, in Red Hybrid, maybe the biggest part of this card is that it's either 2 damage for 1 less memory or a blocker. But like,
isn't Green's removal somewhat DP based as well? Isn't that kind of how it works?
Sometimes, yeah.
Sometimes
it's like based on how big he is.
Yeah, I guess
that's kind of
like
Green removal basically like it comes down to like what they want it to be because sometimes it's bot decking, sometimes it's deletion, sometimes it's like. I don't fucking know.
But it's basically always like if it's not like.
But deleting a guy with less DP is Greymon. That's just what Greymon does.
Yeah, but like you also think about
Greymon in the name.
True.
That's why people watch the show.
It's also it's like Galamon. You know like how Galamon he's those colors. Well,
those is what colors he is.
Yeah, the spirit.
Wait, where is he? This is not a joke, by the way. Where is Emperor Greymon green? I thought he was red, yellow, and blue.
Yeah.
Oh, he's the wood one. Yeah,
he's Kazemon, Wind Spirit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wait, he's. I need to rewatch Front. I was talking about
look above his shoulder. He's right. You can see Zephyrmon, Kazemon right there, and then you got.
Yeah, I know, but aren't there more? I swear, it's Grumble. It's Fire Earth.
Yeah, Grumble's here.
Ice.
Korikaku and Zephyr are down here.
Am I bugging? I swear he was wood.
I will
Doesn't
say
matter.
though,
I haven't seen the show in a while.
No,
I
'cause
will
he got
say though that
promoted.
the Flamon is like the funniest fucking thing. This Flamon is like the new Flamon is like
Yeah,
suspend yourself.
shoot a guy into play. Yeah.
It's just like suspend yourself to like get a free tamer, which is like not horrible, but it's like you're not pushing a damage. So
It's a really good scramble target. They finally made a scramble card for Red Hybrid.
Red Hybrid, and then that's like assuming that you're playing like the one of like fucking what Grumblemon or whatever for the rush,
which you should be.
Which you probably should be. But yeah, that deck is neat. I think like the Shoutmon cards, they're there. I don't know, man. It's Shoutmon.
The deck's like legitimately well positioned, I think. Like Leviamon is a big bugbear for it, but like, you know,
the King version.
Now that you don't like the problem, I've heard this explained in a lot of ways, but like the thing about the deck and like, you know, historically you beat it by playing a floodgate and stopping it doing its thing, is that like that used to just be all that mattered because you just had to if they didn't keep turn, their whole game plan died. But if they have Blitz now, they don't need to digicross for all the cards anymore. They can like be on lower counts of the weird ones and not need to stress about it. And two, don't care about getting floodgated as bad because if they go to 7 memory and then hard play a guy for 10, they don't care what they were passing. They're still doing damage. And like EX6 does a lot of this. So
the greatest buff that Crosshair got was the Taiki. Like the Taiki, like being able to attack is like so insane because one of the issues like Crosshair is currently having is getting floodgated out by certain
Royal
things.
Knights counters.
Yeah, I mean the deck has a niche that it has a good Royal Knights matchup, but also like it can sometimes get flooded. I forgot exactly what it was. That's like the attack is super important because like EX6's attack.
Oh, you can shrink stuff. So you can remove the things as well. So like the Shooting Starmon comes down and then the actual wet attacking effect on EX6 allows you to clear the body. So you get to contest 2 for 1 at the same time. And then like there's no
the draw memory gain is good.
There's also no medieval window there. Like if you do it,
that is true.
And then you tap the Taiki, they're out of luck.
That's what it was. It's like the deck finally has an out to medieval, whereas like before, like medieval was just like not solo, but it was like really really difficult. But I will keep saying the same thing about like current Crosshair, which is that like EX6 is the best Bonds monster. Fuck's sake, man. The
Bonds
best
monster.
Bonds monster. The best boss monster that the deck has, but like the pieces are like the worst pieces because like they've like the only cards you'll see people like resolve is like Shout, Sparrow, and then you'll never see anybody resolve Dorelu. You'll never see anybody resolve Ballista, and the damage wrapping is like extremely linear, and then the deck will cap.
Well, I was gonna say the main problem is because of the material save ruling, right?
You don't get to save your piece if it's not called Alter Ballistamon.
So like
the Ballistamon substitute does nothing.
EX6 is not a cross heart deck. It is EX6 Turbo, whereas like the other pieces can still be like cross heart pieces. If you're committing to EX6 the guy, then you're losing out on a lot of like cross heart the engine.
But
that's part of it for sure. You don't play Crossheart to die. You play Crossheart to trade.
Yeah, the engine is just like not good enough anymore. So like a lot of it is like EX6 is like getting you the win because like EX6 also stops like random floaters. Like it's a -6. It's a permanent, not permanent, but like during your turn it will be -6. Like Imperial, you know, you can stop them from partitioning and like take off a lot of value, things like that. I will say one of the big buffs that Crosshair did get was Shao DX. That card is sick.
That card is really good.
That card is unbelievable. First of all, just on play when Digivolving pop a thing, pretty good. And then it has the good floating, but it's also like Sec Attack +1.
It's relevant that it's a cross-heart tagged Zeeg Greymon when you need it to be as well. So the searchers that used to miss on the Zeegs no longer miss on the Zeegs. And even in those scenarios, like we said before, now that you don't need to digicross to a reduced full cost, like you're okay to digicross for 4 of your 5 pieces because you'll just attack anyway. You don't care. So
you don't have to.
Card gives you more flexibility. Yeah, it's super intuitive.
It's also like not like super expensive. You're reducing it by 6, and then like assuming that you have like Taiki and stuff, like pretty good.
Yeah, you can regularly do Mem Center plus 3 Taiki Kudos, like pretty good.
And then the best thing about it is doesn't the No, it wasn't that somebody floated into him. There was like a way for you to do something cool with him. I don't know, man.
When you get to stack pieces.
No, that one play.
End of attack, you may play a cross art. So in theory, you end of attack after you're doing your
play
thing,
him out for
and
free.
then you get to play him out for
cost by five, then digicross.
Yeah.
Dang,
Deeply
guys.
insane.
Intentional gameplay lines.
Yeah, the card's pretty good.
Yeah, card represents like 3 damage.
Do you guys want me to talk about Atmon again, or should we skip
you can.
it?
I mean,
I didn't think I'd be the guy that was like, "Hey, Atmon's really good," actually, because I'm not a fan of the season of the TV show. But the Atmon deck is individually very powerful, and
from my understanding,
it's definitely missing another wave. But like oh my god, if they give it if the next wave of support is, I would say a single consistency booster and 40% as good as some of the cards in this deck will be top tier. Like, it needs one more consistency booster to give it a little bit of a hand, because it struggles with some of its like consistent finding pieces, because like you kind of don't cycle super efficiently. But it has everything. It's effect immune, it's deleting, it's digivolving, it's suspending, it's like double damage security checks. Like, it's everything. It kind of plays like Birds, but like in the sense that Birds is triggering from hand by like flipping the tamers and getting bodies down. The condition is a lot less about like a game state. Like, you used to be able to play, or it has a taunt too. Oh god, Atmon. It's not like Birds, where like Birds was conditional on the damage that you were doing to your opponent to increase your power. Like, like you were kind of damned if you do, damned if you don't when it came to like blocking and killing Phoenix X. It's not like that here. If the Atmon player has it, they're gonna blow you out. It doesn't matter. Like, it's not a super branching gameplay path, but like the way it finds its damage and the way it maps itself out are super nuts. So I'm excited. I know, as somebody said in the chat, the EX9 is going to have new cards for it. I think it's because they're theming it on like the villains from each season of the show. So like Satellamon, I think, is getting another one because he's one of the, what are they called in English? The like evil masters. They're legally not the dark masters. But the guys, the big bads from Atmon, what are they called? Doesn't matter.
I will say that the 7 Musketeer support stuff, the 7 Musketeer stuff that the deck is also getting, it's like
7 Musketeers.
Sorry, not 7.
The EX7 3 Musketeers.
Yeah, the EX7 3 Musketeers shit is also getting buffed by these cards because they all gave them like a decent like bottom end. So that deck will probably be doing something. I'll have to catch up because like people like Musketeers and they got a new promo as well. And it
has a favorable adventure matchup too.
Oh really?
Yeah, what's it called? Spiral Bullet Shower, whatever the BL Starmon purple option from EX3 is. It basically clears the adventure board.
As in screw.
Hurricane Screw Shot. Yeah. Hurricane Screw Shot. Yeah, it's choose a level 3, 4, or 5 in your opponent's board. Get rid of them. So like most of the like diversified adventure boards just tie to one option. It's pretty cringe.
What I think that basically covers red.
The Megidramon stuff is really a purple deck this time. I would have said.
Oh yeah, I was gonna wait for purple.
We talked about. I was gonna say it is a red deck now. Examon. It did get Examon X. That card's really good, y'all. If you're making a shopping
it's
list
green first.
Yeah, it's green first. Okay. Well, do you want to talk about it, green player?
Well, I've tested a lot of
Examon convert right now.
Yeah, because like it's my thing where like I like a control deck that has inevitability and like a clear turn where like it did its gameplay thing. I mean, it's closer to like a tempo deck. Well, I would even say I would be willing as to say like it plays similarly to like Gora, where it's like, oh, I did my thing, I stopped you from doing your thing, and then on the next turn, like my turn is like so unbelievably strong. That's kind of like the deal with Exa, where it's like if the Examon player promotes before you, and then like they get to do their thing, and then they get one turn with Examon on the board. The problem was that like you wouldn't win the game a lot of the times. Like you still have to like grind the game out, which is something that Exa doesn't really want to do. However, this card basically says the game's over. The game ends. It's an unsuspend and a burn, so that's 2 extra damage. You're already unsuspending and burning with Examon anyway. So you can get upwards of like 4 swings with your setup. I think the card favors the EX3 style of Exa a little bit more because you just get more bang for your buck. But the problem with Exa has like inherent flaws that'll stop it from being like tier 1. And ironically, as crazy as the Draco X is, and that card is crazy. That card is fucking unbelievable.
Low-key the best card in the deck.
But not low-key, very high.
Yeah, not low-key at all. Like this card, it's really funny that everyone was like getting their hype up about like, do you remember the promo Dracomon that could like work for the 5?
That card
completely and totally like maybe one day would have had a chance, but then they made this.
Yeah. So like the combos I get to do now, like at a very basic level, is like you promote a 4. Oh, sorry, you promote a 3. Hopefully this guy. You don't care about paying the 1. You evolve into 4 for free. And then you can use like Dragon Gene if you want to play out the other 5 for reduced cost. And then your 4s will evolve into your 5s for a reduced cost of 2, so for 1. And you get both of them out. Before, that was kind of it. Now you have end of turn DNA. So not only do you have end of turn DNA, one of your level 6s also triggers an attack. Like if you play the new break, the break just says like suspend 2 things, swing. It doesn't have to be opponent or security. It just says swing. If you're killing something, then you're also killing tamers. Like the deck has a lot of tempo and like the deck can play defensive and offensive. Like Examon really is like a sword and shield.
Yeah, the flavor's really good on it. Like it's very like if you kind of think about like the way it maps its turns, it does really play like Gora now. Except instead of the investment being on like needing Mind Link to fully continue your games and like getting everything resolved, the delays are very powerful in this deck, so they're aggressively setting up delay effects in Examon now. It's not Mega Knight. I don't know what the Examon option is called, but from 2.5.
Dragon Gene.
Dragon Gene. That is
Unleash the Dragon Gene.
Yeah, that card is Mega Knight for this archetype. So like they get to play in multiple angles where you just have to be like, God, what do I do to interact with Examon this turn?
A lot of the times it's like I will use my start of main gamer to play out a guy.
Go nuts.
No. Like the worst thing about Exa is like scramble. If my opponent has a scramble on the board, I'm shitting bricks because they'll just go scramble, play out the rookie. Okay, I have to declare an attack. I'll try to attack. Yeah, I'll choose the guy that can't attack it. Your game plan falls apart. It's really funny, but it's also like really frustrating because it's a good taunt, but it's also a bad taunt, right? It's like that's the thing about Exa is like people. Sometimes, you know, I obscure a little bit of information. I tell you how the card works, but I'm not going to tell you what you can attack with. You can choose what you want to attack with. If you trick yourself into thinking that you have to attack with the thing that just promoted from security, that's on you, okay? Like, I'm sorry, at a tournament, that's going to happen. If we're at locals, maybe I'll tell you.
Yeah.
But if it's between me getting my invite or like educating some Joe Schmo can go read about it later. Okay.
No, like if it's between you and your invite, then you're gonna come up with the forbidden Examon taunt where you get to pick.
Yeah. Bro, just attack with something.
I'm still mad about DC1 4 years later.
But yeah, no, the card's neat.
It's crazy that they finally got like end of turn DNA inherit on a rookie is a thing that the other DNA knight has just not had for so long. Like who could have seen it coming?
The funniest thing is like if you play like reds, you could like play a scramble, like any scramble in Exa, and that's like pretty much full combo.
Yep.
It's pretty nuts. But the deck, but the deck still loses to a ton of stuff. Like the deck still loses to like Digivolve, DP minus, like. All of your DP is like your turn DP. You don't really have a ton of DP on the opponent's turn. And sometimes it struggles to outboards. Not all the time, but sometimes it can struggle to deal with certain boards. It's a very flawed deck.
I have a feeling we should save armor because there might be Andrew deck profiles coming down the line for that one.
Yeah, they should be.
Because that's an archetype that is like fan beloved. The only thing I will say is the Vmon is as good as everyone thought it was.
Yeah, none once per turn on this.
Yeah,
it's
just
crazy.
So insane.
Promo also not requiring a tamer is really like.
Yeah, I don't know why. It's because it's hero support, right? Like,
genuinely, resolving this card makes you go, damn. Promo Vmon is kind of washed, huh? Like he put down he's getting dessert. He's being treated nicely by Davis, and he's out here just like.
I don't know. Like, I think Promo Vmon's like whole thing is like you go Promo Vmon in the back and then you put an armor in the back, promote, swing, crash, and then like you get like the crazy effect one time.
Yeah.
This one just does it whenever. So
the other problem is the Promo Vmon misses timing.
with the option.
Yeah, this one
with the
doesn't
option, because it's not optional, if you purge on a promo Vmon and activate the option card to cheat straight back in, you are still evolving. So it eats your -1.
But like this is evolving for between like it is probably annoying, but like free evolution is better than
no. But what I'm saying is, if you crash again, you're paying full cost.
You don't lose it out.
Whereas the Ice Cream Vmon is every single time. Like there is no missing it. It's coming back down for cost minus. I've had some games where I was one memory off of lethal because my first Evo got eaten by the armor thing. And it was between, not paying for I got memory later in the turn, so it's not like I could have paid for it up front, crashed again, and then resolved it that way. So, yeah, it's really like a crazy card. The DP inherit is insane. Some of your armors do be swinging for unreasonable numbers. Once again, Flame Dramon is the worst of the 3.
He can't fix the things the promo flame will save you.
I still like this card, but he's the worst of the 3. Lydramon actually is everything. I don't know.
He should, because he's the best one.
He's kind of the best one again. I don't want to spoil the deck profile because I'm sure you'll end up talking more about like the specific lines and stuff that are going to come out because the new cards, like the Davises, lol. I want to talk about Shine really quick.
We can talk about Shine. I think Shine is overhyped.
Really, I was actually gonna say this is the best I think Shine as a yellow deck has felt in a long time.
Shine's crazy.
Because Awakening, if you go like Alliance, Rise, full combo, make a Marcus pop off, and then like you end with Awakening, or you go into the new Raid Shine is a good card. I still wouldn't choose to play it over the protected BT17 one. And then I think Ruin Mode is maybe the best individual card in the format post ban list. I think it's not a super hot take. And I think the opportunity to make Ruin Mode on your opponent's turn because they uh-oh'd and hit Awakening wrong is game winning. And so I think the fact that this archetype is now more able to lean heavily into a good yellow suite, if you haven't yet resolved the Geo Greymon into the Rise Greymon, you're like, oh, I understand. This is how you now get on the board and check and aggressively promote. The Geo Greymon is just when your Marcus is you regularly or you either cheat the Marcus out with Awakening, or you play it and then he evolves to Rise. Rise gives it Rush, and you Alliance swing and you do your donuts. It's amazing.
I will say the biggest buff that I got is the Koromon.
Yes, the fact that you can be yellow base and not lose card draw.
Yeah, but I still think Shun is still flawed.
You also wouldn't play it over Sakuyamon.
It can run some of the strong tools in the format right now, but its thing, I don't you put Shine against Royal Knights and it's you can kind of pack it up just from flipping both eggs. I feel the deck is still kind of bricky and it does have all these cool tools that it can do, but some decks will just not give you the time to do it. And its recovery is your engine requirement is so big because you have to play so many Marcuses. Trainings boost potentially scrambles, other options, and then even your own line that the deck just kind of bloats itself very quickly.
Yeah, I don't know.
Independent on how crazy the cards are.
I think it'll be interesting to see how it shakes out. I think obviously BT12 Shine gets insane value still because you're shrinking security down, so you can beat overnights. One of the most annoying things about the intended line tempo turn is that you are getting you're pushing out a Geo Grey for 2 cost investment, and then it is literally Shine turn 2. You take 2 checks and they sometimes heal 1 because obviously if that Marcus dies still, then you took 2, they healed 1, and then they kind of just go from there. So turn 2 Shine off of basically no setup is kind of not normal. And it just means that the deck rebuilds really fast. It just like you said, scramble, bring back Agumon, means Marcus, depending on how much memory you pass, sometimes a scramble playback Agumon turns 3 Marcuses live and take 3 damage off of, Marcus from a memory setter, which is kind of evil. And there's the very funny interaction that the new Agumon just makes a Shine straight up if your opponent has a level 6 on board. So that Knights matchup, you do have a lot of level 6s on. Where the hell is he? Yeah, this, because it's a your turn effect rather than a pay a cost kind of thing, it means Marcus can just have this evolve into a Shine Greymon for 0.
Or a training can make this into a Shine for 1.
Yeah,
or Shine for 2, which is really good.
Very silly. I think the deck's pretty sick. I mean, obviously, I've been testing into a deck that is supposed to have a losing matchup into it, but I just think like even just seeing the cards move, I feel like it again is back to BT13. Funny enough, yeah, like versus Knights, BT13 levels of kind of like ignorance, where you just hit them, and then burst mode is still at 4, and yeah, 0 cost Evo into a guy that does it again is still deeply unfair.
Yeah, I think it'll be interesting to see where this falls out. I think you guys might agree still that Sakuya, if you're a yellow guy, you should just play that. Like Sakuya is that deck right now.
This is like
it's maybe the deck if you like really get granular. Like there's like a 3-horse race for the top right now, and Sakuya is in that 3 horses. But this deck is it's gone from like only copers who loved their deck will play it to like, oh, I get it now. The criticism I have for it right now is that it is a main character deck. So it's supposed to be popular and supposed to see repeated lines of success. So it's had multiple good cards and waves and things given to it over the time. But like you can't build it like that. You can't actually build it like a toolbox because your consistency kind of sucks. Like you have to play all the things to do it. So like I'm stoked about the yellow egg because I can play BT16 Agumon, which finds any of the shine cards and any 2-color like Digimon. So this basically hits everything as a searcher. No, I mean BT16, the Light Fang.
BT16, the Light Fang Nightclaw one.
Oh right, yeah, that was a second set.
Yeah,
because it was Light Fang Nightclaw, I went EX5.
Yeah, that card would help a lot, but I'm never choosing to play it over like the start of turn of Marcus or the new Warp one. So like the ratios are going to get really difficult to juggle, and like unlike
the original
Imperial,
Searcher.
Yeah, or the original Searcher, which is just net 1 more card. So unlike that, unlike Imperial or like Armor Imperial, where like it had enough native draw to find all the things as well, it's kind of weird. I also don't think burst mode, like, listen, I know this is heretical because I love burning a security, but I actually don't think burst mode's that good anymore. I think there are lines to make a Shine OTK, but I really think the deck is a ruin mode turbo right now. Because like if other decks won't do it, why wouldn't Shine?
My problem with the ruin mode, with burst mode is like you burn a security, then you trigger your Omeka, and then it's like
straight up.
It's like you just kind of get griefed by. It's similar
ruin
to
mode, the Omeka kicks rocks.
Yeah, it's similar to like the deck can clear what's currently on the board and it can like play proactively, but against like any sort of like trap or setup, I think it like struggles a little bit, and they didn't really fix those issues. Like you have warp, which is like, if you have enough memory to slam a guy down and then warp, that's pretty great. But all the new tools sometimes are also like kind of like not inflexible, but they like force you to go like a specific route, and sometimes
inflexible is the right word. Actually, I think you're completely right.
Yeah, I think that's cool though.
But I'm also a Shine hater. I've never really liked despite me liking Shine Greymon as like the Digimon, I've never liked the deck. It's like cool thematically. It's like, oh, Marcus Punch, but like
I got second at a store championship with Shine, so it's like one of those like, I'll come back to it decks forever. But like
I think there's something cool in it being inflexible though, because like Shine, in the words of our good friend Adam, is like the deck that you check to if you hate the format. Like everyone's presenting you with like this cool like everyone's putting together this like, oh, here's my cool jigsaw puzzle. This is how you interact with your board, and you take your big inflexible regulations size baseball bat to that puzzle, and you just keep mashing it up. And it's like if they they have an answer to that, I guess my fake deck didn't beat them. If they didn't, you beat them over the head with it and you move on to like the next round. And I think that's pretty cool that Shine, like they were just like, we're not going to toolbox. We're just going to give you new pieces to assemble your Lego baseball bat. Go hit people.
The option is also good too. I'm sure we'll get a comment about that if we don't say it. I don't think it's the nuttiest thing you can do in the deck. I personally would just play Awakening instead, but like this is good and it does different things. It's really good to hit unsuspended and not have raid because there are counters to redirecting now. So like this actually has a meaningful upside. I'll give you guys like a 2-word thing on Meggy because I low-key don't want to leak my own sauce. Low-key don't want to grief anybody else I know, and also think I might talk about this more down the line. But it's really funny. This deck is not what I wanted out of a Megidramon deck, but it is what I wanted out of a Ravemon deck. This deck is Ravemon if it didn't suck my nuts. The War Growlmon is the card. If you haven't interacted with War Growlmon, the fact that you can just resolve this over and over again in the when attacking is just like this deck can map damage out in ways that are like not fair or fun to play with because of Analog Youth. I want to be clear, like it is an Analog Youth pile. You play 4 Analog Youth, and the more of them you find, the more unfair things you can do. But the line is just like Guilmon, Growlmon in the back, maybe a Growl X if you're feeling fun. You promote, you go into this guy, you do your donuts. You can either pop something with War Growl X and plus off that, or you can make the full line into a Megi. And then Megi will float into presumably 2 or 3 memory from your inherits, another memory from your Analog Youths, a Gallantmon, a Rush Guilmon. Like it's like domain expansion in purple, but now the cards are also red. Deck's all right.
It's very tricks coded.
Yeah, it's how do I put it?
Birds. It's like birds
it's the same as a run. It's like
it's birds from the trash. And so instead of having like the conditional value of your cards being dependent on your opponent, you kind of just go like, let's go gambling. And if your Analog Youth mills are the nuts, you win the game. It can, like, it's not a tier 1 super threat. I think it's almost there. The Gigimon helps a lot. Like having the Black Growlmon inherit as Gigimon is like really strict. But
is
like,
it the same one you used for Medusa? Is it this one?
No, it's the promo from your current store packs.
Oh, the purple one. Okay.
Yeah, the purple Gigimon, which is really great because the Guilmons all need to evolve over Gigimon if they're 2-color because they cost 1 otherwise. So yeah, the deck's fun. I encourage people to try it out. It probably won't be super expensive, other than those secret rare Gallantmons that you probably want a couple of.
Hey, if you buy a box, you got a good shot at getting one because I think the English, like it's really funny seeing that I clicked the Japanese version one of that as well. Like they're doing that audio post processing. That is the same clip again. They're using the English cards in the Japanese version of the video as well, which is really funny. Yeah, like it's a 1 in 4 chance you get one and a bunch of other cards in the things. Like they're actually really generous with these box toppers. When I saw they were box toppers, I was a little bit worried. But it's like 2 cards in there. So it's pretty neat. I know we always say don't buy a box, but this one, at least the box toppers.
Don't buy a box.
At least the box toppers aren't crazy.
We're not always anti-product. It's just if you're new to the game, don't buy a product and think it's going to give you everything unless that product is a starter deck.
Please buy product.
Like, please don't be like, I only have $50 and it would cost me $50. Like, you know, like, oh, I want to play. I'm about to buy a box of BT21 and I want to play Adventure. I bought my starter decks and all I'm missing is tie. My budget is $50. Should I buy a box and maybe pull tie, or should I just buy tie? Please buy tie.
It's very funny that you think a box is $50 in this economy.
I'm not. I was just saying. Like,
yeah, I know.
You didn't want to say 100 and.
Yeah. Hey, well, I don't even want to think about how bad it is in the US right now. Anyway,
Wind Guardians.
I won't leak the goo. Wind Guardians ain't done. It's just not done.
Not done.
It's
Galactic
6
There's
cards,
no goo.
right?
You just play the new cards. The Galactic goo is like
if you don't have Destro promo, you can't play this deck.
Okay,
it's
yeah,
it's getting reprinted at least.
Yeah, eventually it will get it's in the LM6, right?
Yeah.
LM6 is in like October.
Yeah, so this is not a version of like building this archetype right now that will make it available to you.
Yeah, Galacticmon.
The deck is great. Tamer Hate's good. The new Galacticmon blows people out, and like the fact I was originally wrong about the Sunemon. I had it explained recently that the Galacticmon picks up things that are just Galacticmon
in their name.
Yeah. So
this
20K. Is actually much better.
20K Galactic is like, you got numbers now.
Yeah, it is actually worth not having the card draw.
You don't use the like DP minuses all of a sudden. Like Alphamon doesn't just cook you.
Yeah, the Zenith is a house.
Zenith is good.
Dude,
I mean,
this Jojo is so hot. Like old man back, Jojo pose. That right there is Lan. That is our European champion right there.
Yeah, so true. It's literally the post he did in the thumbnail. Galactic's good. Is there one other thing in this that I forgot to talk about?
There's like a couple of like individual cards, right? Like the
Fish and Ghosts both got one new rookie, which is fun because they both previously just had one other card.
The Sango is alright.
Fish got a Sango. You guys both got the same card.
Yeah, the Sango is okay.
This is actually, it's funny because Fish is just like, people don't think of the Liberator Yao deck as its own deck. They just use them in Fish. But this is the actual first set of new Ryugumon support, which is cool. So
the thing is, like, Ryugu is like a card that on paper reads crazy, and then like they're all the other
fish. It's for a format we're not in. Like, I don't care about bot decking my own guy to go minus on board to control your board. I might be dead before I resolve it.
No, yeah. All the fish cards should read like, how many guys can I produce off of this combo? That should be like your barometer for like your level 6. This is like, is my level 6 producing more guys, contributing towards the combo, or is the removal that good that it's like I'm sorry, my bar for fish is like, you have to be better than like Xiang Peng from EX6.
When will the Bloom Andes figure out that the fun of their big wide board is also kind of in fish now, and that they have something else to play with? I'm saying the Bloom players, they're missing out, bro. We need to hook them up on the fish. It's getting more and more like Bloom combo-esque every set.
It's pretty much that. But right now, like, the best fish combo you can do is Aegis. So it's like,
yeah, Deep Savers is.
They're all of these cards are vehicles to make the Aegis combo more efficient. But like the problem is like with Sango is like it's not a searcher, and like it's kind of competing with like Crab, Searcher, Sango, and Goma. And this card's not better than those cards, unfortunately. And we are already on like low numbers of rookies, so unfortunate for this card. Very neat as like a card that you can like spit out, evolve on top of something, gain your reduction, play it out again, get another like cheap evo. It does that pretty well.
Now that we're going into like the second year of Liberator, maybe eventually they'll push a card that legit makes you just want to play Liberator packages and not, or sorry, Liberator decks and not Liberator packages.
Yeah.
But we ain't there yet, so.
I mean, for Ghosts, it's like a little bit more on the nose. Yeah, card's good. Like
another inherit that does that is a Ghost is so.
The card's insane. Why am I spouting propaganda? I know how to evaluate cards, and like the card's fine. Like, it's not, Fish is not going to be playable because they got like an insane rookie that we didn't have before. It's like, oh my god, this fixes everything. It's like, no.
It does. The Synergies does actually do that for minerals, by the way. It helps that deck a lot. Just having the name correct. Oh god,
yeah, -1 EVA. Like, it's one of those like if you open like double Liberator, card before, you'd go, all right, one in the back, and you evolve one in the front. And you go, man, I kind of wish I had that Searcher that could +2. This now you could go, cost reduced Evo in the back, Searcher in the front, double hit, find your Tamer and something else, push out next turn, and it's 1 cost Evo to get a memory setter or gimmick promo Tamer that does everything. So like I think the 1 cost Evo like opens up a lot of new lines that might have previously required a lot more setup, or even just like an amount of setup that costs you a turn, whereas I think you can now like go straight to do game plan off the rip on turn 2, which I think is pretty important, especially as we're starting to, we're very much back to playing tennis at the net for the first 2 turns as people drop delay into delay into delay. So I think anywhere where you can squeeze out potentially an extra action before passing turn, or passing 1 instead of passing 2, I think is really, really relevant.
I think that broadly covers BT21. It's pretty hyped that this is the first time that like I've seen like lists that from like Eastern players that I've been like aware of or that I know who have been like, oh yeah, you should be putting this on your radar for like 2 weeks from now. And I'm like, oh, cool. Like, I think it's really fun that we've made it to unification, right? Like, I'm going to a pre-release on Friday. It's going to be sweet.
When we talk about Galactic, we did talk about Galactic.
Yeah, if you don't have your Destros, you're out of luck.
Yeah, like, if you don't have your, like, you didn't do your degree for, like, whatever it is to become, like, a space pilot, unlucky. You should have joined the program a year ago. But you can do that. You can get it in clearing later. But yeah, this is for the Galactimon fans, the true Galactimon fans, not the tourists that like the look of Ragnarok canon.
Yeah. Listen, when LM6 comes out, you can fix it in post. But if you like fixing things in post, we have this other thing we do here on Misplay for Game. Have you guys ever been to a patch note party? It's like a baby shower, but you don't have to bring presents. And that's the only difference, actually.
I've never been to a baby shower.
You've never been to a baby shower? Well, you've been to patch note party, so you actually know exactly what it's like. When people, somebody Marcio, is going to be like, hey, Marcio, I'm having a baby. You want to come to this party? And you'll be like, okay. And also, Agitarmon should be when digivolving and main. And that'll be how it works.
Yeah. You know, like the speed gif of him just being like,
yeah, that's you.
Sorry, audio listeners.
They know.
Everyone knows the speed
exactly
GIF.
what speed GIF it is.
There's too many. You look up speed Fortnite GIF. There you go.
I mean, it's just trying not to laugh, and he's usually in like the top 3, so you'll find it. It's either that or like Thierry Henry. I finally actually watched like the video that's from, and I thought it was him actually trying not to laugh, but he is just like actively griefing for content. Like he's doing that to his own joke. That's the funniest bit about it adds an extra layer for me. He's like, he just says something outrageous and then just deadpans the camera and does that. It's like, that's my goat.
Thierry Henry would have been a great VTuber if he wasn't really good at football. He would have been a really great entertainer.
Bro, we got East.
That's true. Old man Otamamon. Or not Otamamon. What am I thinking of? What's the ball?
Mamemon.
Mamemon. I was thinking Otama's like a round little guy.
Yeah, true. As far as I'm aware, though, East does have legs.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, unless you've seen him, all the footage of East on the internet is from the torso up, right? So we actually aren't super sure.
He just
he casted Worlds, but bro, I only saw from the elbows up.
Anyway, let's fix some cards.
That's no party. Hi, you guys know how this works. If you don't, hi. Or also, if this gets edited, I should do an intro. Hey, y'all. Welcome to the Patch Note Party. We're going to talk about cards that are maybe a little underloved in the Digimon TCG. Cards that have kind of fallen out of favor of the deck builders of today. And our job here on Patch Note Party is to come up with a couple changes that might help you kind of shore up some of the problems. We've asked channel members over here at the youtube.com/KnTElixar YouTube channel, where you can check out the membership. There's like multiple tiers. And if you're a member, you get to submit cards for Patch Note Party sometimes. I go into the Discord and chat. Essentially, the way this works is we're going to be able to change 3 things about a card. We do not have to change one thing from each category, but there are multiple kinds of categories we can implement changes from. We can affect keywords, we can add number values or subtract number values, we can add or subtract text effects, and we can add or subtract color effects. So either giving colors, changing colors, targeting colors, blah, blah, blah. So that's how we do it. Let's get at it, boys, because Patch Note Parties, we got a couple this week because I thought big.
Oh God!
What the hell?
We got some real stinkers. I will shout out when they are from either my actual dossier of terrible cards that I wanted to talk about, or if they are coming from somebody in the YouTube members. So this one is a TommyNT exclusive. This is a card I was scrolling for, and I was like, wow, this sucks, and it literally doesn't see play. How could we make this playable? So welcome, YouTube audience, to EX3 Majiromon.
Wait, this is a Davis card, not a 4 Great Dragons card?
No, brother. I think it was supposed to be a 4 Great Dragons card because it's from EX3.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking at first. Like, it's yellow, it's,
But it only works
right?
with Azulongmon.
Yeah.
It doesn't work with the others.
Well,
it doesn't work with the yellow ones, right? There's 2 yellow 4 Great Dragons from that EX3 line, and it doesn't do it for either of them.
I would say this card, off of okay, is the effect on this card your turn anywhere, or is it
no? If this gets played out, I have stolen games in Davis with this because if they check this in security by who can play it out and steal 2 memory.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
But yeah,
no, then that's easy. Just give it a end of attack, put this on top of security.
Ooh, great pick from Marcio. I like that a lot.
There you go.
A Deva that lives a check is how I know that you aren't playing a lot of Devas.
Hey, you got Jedi's house now, right?
Yeah, we do have Jedi's house now. That card's actually kind of good for Davis.
What if instead of end of attack, end of Wait, what's the like end of both opponents' turns or some bullshit? What's Death X's
End of
do?
all turns is the way that's typically written.
End of all turns.
End of all turns.
Yeah.
End of all turns. If this card is suspended, put it to top of security. It means you can use it as an alliance target, or if you just raw dog it into security, it's in there. So you're still having to like advance the game state or do something with it. And then if you sit on Baihu, nobody's favorite one, then you can cheese over and over again.
But okay, I love that idea. But I'm actively removing a blast digivolving target by putting it into security.
That
should have had a second one out.
Hey,
this is your mid game.
7.
Yeah, but
this is your mid game power spike.
My mid game power spike. You're right.
Yeah, this also doesn't play a guide to raising. So if you're using this as an alliance target,
you're
like
are we
turn
all
4.
maybe are we all maybe cool with this just getting on play? Do the Deva text.
Do the
Does
Deva
that seem
text.
reasonable?
Yeah.
If they have the Deva tag, maybe they should.
Okay,
do that.
okay. If you get the Deva text, you can gain memory.
No, I don't think it would break Davis. I think it's fine. Yeah, I think it's okay.
Like gaining 2 memory is like the whole point of Dave is that you pass your opponent 7. If you're passing your opponent less than 7,
it only gives your opponent 7 if you already have exactly Azulongmon. Or sorry, no, 4 sovereigns. So if you already have a 6, it'll give you 2 memory.
Oh, is it conditional? Oh, okay. You have to have.
You
always get sec -2.
Oh, sure.
That's why the Baihumon thing is so funny. Is because the Baihumon's the
Yeah, but I think that's the thing. Like this card is supposed to allow you to lean in a different direction of Davas.
Grief your opponent a little bit.
Because like, do you play any yellow Davas besides the 2-color
Antila?
Like it's
Antila
right?
is the yellow Deva that you would play.
Yeah, like I was gonna say. So like you're griefing your ratios to play more of this card. So like, yeah, it should do the Deva thing. That's a given. Is that what we call of our 3 changes.
We call that a text change around here.
Do the Deva thing.
So if we want to be really hard on this for ourselves, we would say maybe a keyword as well. So that would be 2 changes.
Nah, you're already getting like sec attack minus and gaining memory.
We add the text of the Deva effect to the existing on play, and it becomes the longest on play in Digimon.
No, it's like a 2. You can give it 2 on plays.
Yeah, but we need another keyword.
We don't. Honestly, I think. If you just give the card the Deva thing, this card's fine.
It doesn't have an inherit either. I would maybe like to see it line up with the other Devas that see play, because even the Antila has an inherit.
Okay,
so
but the Antila has an inherit because it's a Lopmon card, not because it's
yeah. But that's what I'm saying is like literally except the occasional deep Devas build where they play like the purple Vajramon,
the Sandira,
and the cheap Sandira. Basically, every Deva has the inherit that is relevant with the level 6s, so I feel like that wouldn't hurt it.
Yeah, but the intent is so are we leading into the put it in security, because then you don't need to give it an inherit because the goal is to never blast evo. Right?
Well, hear me out actually.
Well, you could go.
Here's how we stick this thing into security. The inherit is if this Digimon with the correct tags, which is 4 Sovereign or God Beast, would leave the battle area. Place this Digivolution card and we make it protoform. So it goes to top of security protoform style.
Sure. Do you still lose the body, or are you still overflowing?
It's when it would be, right? So like if I would lose my Fanglong, but Fanglong goes nah, then like or you have other means of protecting it like decoy, then you would be able to save it, but you would then you would use protoform. But there'd be no
barrier.
Because
do not give it fucking barrier.
No. I think it should have like a protoform-esque inherit. I don't think we should give Fanglong barrier. I think if I want to give Fanglong barrier, I should have to play TK Kari like the way the devs intended.
I think it just needs 2 things. I think like you can give Davis more than like 2 things.
Yeah, I think those.
Well, we get 3 guys. What do we want?
No, you can. I don't know.
Patch note party. You've been here before.
Give it a 1k DP buff if you really want. Make it 8k.
Make it purple as well, so you can play it better in 4 Great Dragons.
Purple.
Wait, yeah, because
make it evolve for 2.
Make it evolve for 2. That does nothing for Davis. It's genius. I scratched my comment from the record. Make it evolve for 2. It doesn't even have a when Digivolving. Marcy is 100% right. It's the funniest placebo buff I've ever heard.
Crazy change. So that is change.
Wow, we're so good at card game design.
Dude, Kohei, hit us up.
I went to school for this shit.
He literally, both of you did.
Yeah.
God, this is the best segment we do.
All right.
That's Majiramon EX3. David players. Usually, hey guys, I just realized we haven't done a patch note party in like 2 months. Usually, we have to say what deck we're trying to improve the card in. It's for Davis.
Yeah.
Yeah. Cool.
See, my only other thing is if we weren't doing this, I would have said just change four sovereigns and was it
4 great dragons?
Yeah.
Yeah, sure.
See if it does something.
Yeah. Glue it together. Yeah, this card's booty cheeks. I don't even think this would help.
Yeah. We could have actually made this card so much better if we tried to make it a David card. Tried to make it a great dragon.
But I want David cards.
Yeah, I know you want
this
David
one's for Tom. This one's for Tom.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is one pulled from the TommyNT archive of cards I think would be funny on Patch Note Party.
Yeah. Tom, I'm just gonna say, you know how you said most of these cards would be fixed by turning them blue?
Yeah, would have actually.
Yeah, no, like deadass. If we'd just gone, make him blue yellow. On play when digivolving. Mentions 4 great dragons. This card is the craziest turbo card for 4 great dragons because it's a yellow card that's searchable off all the bullshit. Evolves for effectively 1 when you make a second stack.
If it could have also been like, how the Digicross cards are substitutes for Digicross? Like we could have made this thing a substitute for what's the card called? The 4 great trial of the 4 great dragons. This thing could have been a substitute 4 great dragon for trial. But alas.
Unlucky. It evolves for 2.
Evolves for 2.
It's a David that evolves for 2. This is our first audience submitted one. I want to say thank you again to our channel members. This is a submission from Totally Not Soul over at the Misplay for Game Discord. You should get in there. They recommended promo 027 Metal Garurumon. This is a purple all-star. It's a historic card. It's a card I tried to convince Andrew to play in Millennium on for a couple months.
And I did, and it got Caleb interested in the deck. Fun fact. Like he was interested because of Moon anyway, but like he saw that and went interesting.
I say historic. I said problematic.
Yeah.
They go like the card's purple. Historic and problematic actually are just synonyms. When you're talking about purple, for audio listeners, 11k DP body level 6 evolves for 3, and its main effect is Digiburst 2 to use an option card with a with a use cost of 7 or less, without paying the memory cost.
Memory cost is actually how they used to word that. It used to be a memory cost, not a play cost.
Yeah. I mean, we call it use cost now. Rather
than old wording is totally
it does have to be from hand. It's a 7
so you need to have
cost
this plus the card in hand to use it.
Yes.
I know how to fix it. You just make it play from trash.
No. You make it you know how Anubis has main when digivolving? You hand or trash is you're trolling.
It's Beelstar. It's just better Beelstar because you get. Is it how much? What's a Digiburst? Digiburst 2. Yeah, you get 2.
It's not. And hey, dude, you could literally completely kill off a BT6 Beelstar by making this do it from trash and evolve from Garurumon in name, because then you could go Gabu X Guru X Guru on where Guru X, and then you could go Sagittarius mode, and you could literally turn this thing into a machine gun for option cards.
That's awesome.
Like you could give this thing 12 sources for like 6 memory.
Like you're talking about all this, and then we were doing this with Millennia, was to just make stuff, and you make Chimera. You make Chimera, make it purple, load a thing, and then you just Digiburst a bajillion. Was what we were doing in Millennia, and you just cast the option card to cheat out like your machines for like nothing. You should make this main when digivolving. Like we've seen it for Anubis. We've seen it
per turn, then right?
No.
Well, because like the main effect already, like
Tom, the point of this card is to just go make it in raising, push out, go boom, boom.
But you're literally. Are you saying when digivolving Digiburst, or is it when digivolving do the thing and then Digiburst in the main?
You wanted to play one option or two?
Are you saying?
Do you want $1 or $2?
No. I'm trying to ask: is Andrew saying they should get one for free on the house, or do they have to Digiburst when digivolving?
I was thinking Digiburst when digivolving.
Is it okay? Then that would be, I think, the first time that's in the game, right?
Yeah,
Yeah,
but I think it makes sense because when I'm using Anubis as like the benchmark for it, Anubis you still have to pay a cost on Digivolve, so it would make sense.
But Anubis deletes things and draws cards. This doesn't.
Yeah, but this could, I don't know, libel or something. I'm just thinking like,
we haven't made it Anubis enough yet. We could do. When an option card is played, draw 3 or delete a guy.
I was gonna say if an option card is played, take a source from trash. Take a source from trash. So if you know the first Digivolve is basically for free. Maybe the longer. Why
don't make it like when you use an option, play a guy from trash.
Just Nailbone. Nailbone plays 3 guys.
No, yeah. he's actually coming up with something even more evil because by not making it a purple guy, he's letting you play BT1 Garurumon that unsuspends something.
Yeah.
He's trying to make what's the Dogress? He's trying to make a purple Dogress top end.
It's like, okay, this card, right? This card is cheeks. This card was good because like back then there was nothing else better to do, and purple's thing was like cheating things out. Unless we're buffing this card with like unsuspending security checks, or like this card needs to be a card that you evolve into and like is winning the game. The only way you're doing that in purple is like damage output. This card does not read damage output. This card reads like deletion or like removal. So you have to make this card do damage in some way, whether that is like playing Genkakus from the trash. Sure. When you
use an option card, trash is security.
Yeah. So then you get to do it like twice off if it's main, and then just like
maybe once per turn. I don't know if Melga should have.
No, I think if when you use an option 7 or higher, you should just be able to delete things.
Brother, if they have 12 sources, they get 6 damage.
Yeah, that's fine. They've worked for the 12 sources.
Every Sagittarius mode for 1. Wait, does that cost 0 or cost 1? Hang on,
I believe it costs 1.
Spelled Sagittarius wrong.
The deck you're describing
costs 0. We can't do that.
The deck you're describing is so cheeks.
No, it's just purple versions of Melda OTK.
Okay, fine. Once per turn, when you use an option, give it burn.
Because like think of the goo, right? Where you can like have this thing turn into EX5 Melga X that no one's ever used.
Yeah,
it's
that's the goo.
Are we saying option card?
That's the dog poo, actually.
Are we putting how expensive the option card has to be?
No.
I don't want to play
this puppy. I don't even care.
No, the option 7. Honestly, if you want to make it option of like 4 for Digiburst 1, that's fine by me.
Oh my god!
Don't do that.
No, don't do that.
They just play Underworld's Call 8 times.
Yes, that's why I said
they play
don't do
every
that.
memory boost you've ever seen.
No, make it like, I don't know, give it jamming. That's kind of funny. Like let it swing at security.
Give a Melga jamming.
Yeah, like you're not. This guy's not a Melga. Nobody's gonna put this in Melga.
Oh well, hang on. Third change evolves over Garurumon. What do you think now?
Oh.
But then you have to play bad cards in your blue deck.
Well, when will we get purple Garurumon? Right? What would it take?
No, it's poo-poo. It's like people that are like, I want to play black.
Think of the shit, Marcio. You could go the Adventure Gabumon, right? You promote Adventure Gabumon, it warps into this thing, and you get a free Digiverse 2. He's doing the speed GIF, audio listeners. That joke won't translate otherwise.
What if
we have sorry boys, we have 11 more of these. I'm not gonna fight this much on all of them.
Okay.
Jamming 1 burn, that's like good enough.
The burn is cool.
The burn's cool. Let it swing a security. Let it fucking swing. You're not going to win the game sitting on this asshole. You have to convert him into something before you turn him into ruin mode anyway.
Yeah, no, we're X evolving into Melga X.
Okay, why not give it like a wait, no, so you don't have to play.
Oh my god! And it can...
when attacking evolve.
Yeah, and that way you can play a white option card instead of needing the X antibody. Sorry, you don't need to play X antibody. That way you're not.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Great.
Okay.
Genius. When attacking,
evolve.
Yeah.
Or free?
No. Wait, yeah, it's only purple. It's only mono purple.
Yeah,
so
it's only a free
reduce
rune.
cost by 1. Reduce cost by 1.
It's only a free rune mode. It's not even a big
you're
deal.
right.
No, I thought we were making it evolve into like. Oh wait, you can make it evolve into like a Garuri name. Let it evolve into like the blue Garurus.
It might be tech for adventure. No, don't warp into this and Digiburst once. It's not gonna work. It's not gonna get you there. That was Metal Garurumon. Thanks, Totally Not Soul, for submitting your card for Patch Note Party.
We've killed it. We killed this one, honestly.
We nailed it, actually.
I would have given it jamming, but that's
this is Descent of the Three Great Angels. This is a card so bad. We joked about it last time we did Patch Note Party.
Make it cost 4.
Yeah, true. No wait,
I'm not lying. Make it cost 4.
Yeah, that's a numbers change. I like that.
If this should cost the same as what's the
Ascent,
other asshole called?
Ascent.
Yeah.
Or Rise. It's called Rise in English.
I don't even make it cost 3. Let me keep turn.
I like the typo actually. Yeah, I kind of we do need
Ascent of the. It's like Ascent of the or Rise or whatever.
Yeah, it's Descent and Rise.
Yeah, because they took Ascent and Descent and went, no, we will not take the obvious wordplay. We will butcher that one.
Oh, we can give it a nice security effect. What do you want to do? Do you want to play out a guy? Do you want to just nuke something? Do you want to recover
it's an
one?
Angel. I think it recovers 1.
Oh, but you can make it do so much more.
Wait, okay, security, give one of your Digimon barrier for the turn?
Oh, no, make it so that if it's burned, it gets played.
No, why would you do that?
Yeah,
because then you can burn it with, if it's insecurity, you burn it with the Seraphi. Not Seraphi, what's his name? What's his name?
Okay. What if I'm trying to think.
You can go like, oh, I'll burn 1 to protect my domain. Oh, I got a Descend for free. Epic.
Ooh,
I also have an idea.
Should it activate main or should it play straight? Should you get extra value for it being burned? Should it get placed?
So dog shit.
All right, yeah, sure.
Load 1 and like place itself.
I would like to suggest a text change, by the way.
Okay.
What?
I think you should recover 1 from deck when you use the delay. I think it's weird that you go -1 from your own security.
Oh yeah.
When
Okay,
you
there you
use
go.
the intended support. Yeah.
We fixed it. Wow, that was so easy, guys. Whoa, why does it cost 3? I thought we agreed on 4.
Bro, you said 3.
I was joking.
Marcio, you said 3.
I was joking.
Now, Angel players, would you play this?
Yes, they will, because the card's actually good now.
But they won't even play Final Excalibur, and that card's good as hell.
Yeah, because they're stupid. Okay, no, that's not true. They have Volder.
I'm really excited for the Angels reprints, because I kind of want to play Angels. Mostly because they all look like Final Fantasy characters, and I like Digimon Angels.
Please do not leave it at 3 cost. That was a joke.
I don't know.
It seems like we like it, guys. Wait, we made a good card on Patch Note Party. Clickbait, get a pog face in. Perfect. That's Descent, dude. That was easy.
That was so
God.
easy.
I'm not taking it back to 4. We deserve it.
Yes.
BT11 King Sukamon. Who was this?
No, this card's perfect. Why are we fixing perfection?
So this was a suggestion from Mr. Wicken over on the Misplay Game.
You picked the wrong one.
No, did I?
This is the good one. Surely he was talking BT13.
No, I swear to God, I'm gonna scroll back up in chat. Mr. Wicken says, the sequence of messages is actually very funny. It was, can I get a suggestion for cards you guys would like on Patch Note Party? Mr. Wicken says, the whole Sukamon Atmon deck. And I went, okay, any specific card? He went, King Sukamon. I said, any specific King Sukamon? And then said, BT11, please. And also, I forgot BT13 existed. So I am fulfilling the request of a Misplay for Game channel member. If you guys want to do King Sukamon 13, maybe we'll do it next time.
I don't know how to fix perfection.
Yeah,
I am God's greatest sculptor.
We're going to break it. This thing now play cost 5.
I am God's greatest sculpture, and even I know not when to touch, perfection itself.
Okay, no, I've got it.
No, we're breaking it, right?
I've got it. You know how petrification plays out a token? What if no matter what, your opponent gets a Sukumon on the other side of the board? So if they give you nothing, you still get to dome them for 2.
I like that. That's cool. I think the play cost should be 5.
Yeah, play cost should be 5. I agree.
And it should have jamming.
I don't agree.
It doesn't need the point.
I want you to be able to have this thing be a low to the ground aggro card as well sometimes.
Yeah, but the point is you polymorph their guy and then you swing and then you blow up
and then
their
you die and they kill their thing. But that's what if they don't have a thing, right? Like you don't need to kill their Sukumon. No, because you want to keep their Sukumon token on the board as long as possible. You want them stuck with the shit on the board.
I was gonna give it like a funny ESS. I'm not gonna lie.
What ESS would you like to give it?
What's the current ESS?
It's when it would be deleted, delete a Sukumon to prevent deletion. Maybe we should change it to leave the battle area.
Yeah.
You could update it. I was gonna give it like maybe.
We should make it like Omekamon, where this thing could be played for free from your trash if your opponent checks your last security. And that's like the toilet got clogged. You had to get a plunger to get it out.
Okay, well, why not do security and trash?
Dude, like, genius. I love it.
Make this guy
guys, this is patch note. We accidentally made a good card. We can't lose sight of the fact that we're here to make bad cards funny.
Security and trash. It should have both of those. It should be like security plays itself in trash. One security is boring. Do like 2 security, you know? Like
genius. I love it. He's cooking.
Wait. Run me. What are we putting?
Marcy wants this thing to do 3 damage minimum.
I'm saying, you know how?
What are we doing?
You know how like Omeka's thing is like, from like Drazil, it's like if you're a 1 security, you can like tap Drazil to like play self out.
Yeah.
I want this to be able to play self from the trash if you go down to 2 security.
Wait, I've got a better one.
All right, Cook.
If you know, between both players, maybe you have to move combined. 16. I was gonna say like the 16 cards in trash slash.
Oh, okay.
I think you do have to do 16.
The 16 is actually a reference to a VPET.
No, I know that, but I was just like we already have the or 3, but I think or 3 is kind of dangerous. I was gonna say you have trash. If your opponent has 16 cards in trash, when a Sukumon is played on play from trash. So that way, if you're setting up with a Atmon stack with when they attack check 3, it means it plays with King Atmon, where you do the taunt, you force them to attack, and then you get a body and potentially a King Suka that then polymorph.
I love all of that. Can I throw in maybe the nuclear option? Something we have never done on Misplay for Game. Andrew, great idea. And I hate to not, guys, we like to do a little bit of yes and here on the podcast, but sometimes you got to no but your friends. And Andrew, I'm going to solve the card. The no but is we make the first time ever on Patch Note Party, this is an ace.
Oh, true.
A blast evolves over Sukumon level 4s, and it will polymorph in combat step.
Yeah.
That's
I'm a genius, chat.
Is that a value? What is that's just
maybe
text,
we're
right?
better card designers on Sunday than Saturday.
The extra day off work really comes
the
through.
Extra day off. Yeah, honestly, I wouldn't even add anything else. Like I said, you don't fuck with perfect. You don't reinvent the wheel.
We've got
now, have we accomplished making this like good? Like, is this kind of broken now?
Does it?
Yeah, I would say it's broken. So fuck the trash.
If you don't need the trash effect, we've got player token, so they can't play off board.
Oh, well, if it's an ace, the play cost also goes down to 4, right? So that's like great for me. Yeah, cool.
Sure.
No, because it's an ace. That's the same change.
If you really want to make it a low to the ground aggro tool, give it keyword rush.
If I say ace and that changes 4 things about the card, that's 1 change.
Yeah, just give it like keyword rush.
Yeah.
Slam it for 4.
What if we make this thing an alternate win condition?
No. You had it with the ace. You had it with the ace. That's what I'm saying. Just give it keyword rush. Slam for 4, swing for 2.
Oh, man.
Yeah.
Guys, we've done it. Also, it would be really funny if this is the first.
Or you make the EX, you upgrade the ESS.
It would be really funny for this to be the first like efficiently costed black level 5 ace, by the way, because
don't make it conditional. Just
it should be. It should be conditional.
We're breaking the card. Why are we balancing it?
Fine. You can put a condition on it, Andrew. You have to tell Mr. Wicken.
Yeah, I will. And I'll tell him it'll be if you have 3 or more Sukas.
We tried to come through. Me and Marcio are the people's champions. Try to give them their exciting, overpowered card slop.
I love Mr. Wicken. He recently upgraded, but you got to remember, I started playing this game with Jess, and we cannot.
What is the meme like? That all the Dark Souls games are roll slop. This is
roll slop.
This is poly slop.
Poop slop.
Poop slop. Welcome to Poop Slop, everybody.
Anyway, let's move on to the next card.
I kind of want to sit with Poop Slop for a minute, if you don't mind.
Oh, Atmon.
What the fuck do you want me to do about this?
This is another member suggestion from King of Knights, I believe. Let me just make sure that's true.
Oh, I'm going to beat him up. Don't show up the local.
Let me just super make sure that this is actually his submission.
It should have over black.
What the fuck do you want me to do about Astamon?
It should have over black. What's in text?
Yeah, I swear to God, the 16th of March, King of Knights was like BT12 Astamon. What if this had overclock?
But like, what are you popping? Your own quartz?
What if it had inherent overclock? So the quartz can burn 2 times.
And then
we're taking quartz back from the green players. We're going to make this card so broken that quartz, no one will ever say quartz is better in something other than hunters. We're going to give this thing warp into quartz, and then you can attack with it, and then end of turn, overclock, attack with it. And it burns like 6 security in one.
You're already like keeping turn when it's one evolving, right?
Okay, I'm saying but like
so I think you're cooking with ESS. I think ESS overclock. You could pop one of your own tamers if you want.
I want quartz to straight up do 7 damage.
Yeah, no, quartz should be swing, game's over.
Yeah. Scapegoat inherit. I see.
No.
Here's the vision, right? If you get past a lot of memory as a Hunters player, this thing should just also have, not Scapegoat, because I don't care about this card.
What's the evolution condition?
It can evolve over a Psychomon or the
5 for Psych,
save
3
text.
for Rival Hunters with save and text. So it can't evolve over Damomon, which is why I said this should evolve over Black with save and text.
Okay, we should do that.
Inherit ESS, but it's also you have to have 4 or more Digivolution cards in order to.
That's fine.
So if you have to, do the Hunter's game plan, then
Arrestor-Dramon moment, right? Like it's the same vision. And it doesn't have rush because, it can have rush, but like it consistently will not have rush. So I think it's fine. Overclock ESS, save and text. Is that balanced? Is overclock ESS, save and text? That would let Arrestor-Dramon Superior. If you stacked one of this thing under Arrestor-Dramon Superior mode, it would get 3 attacks.
Yeah,
that's fine. I don't care.
Is the time? No, wait. Is the timing not the same?
So... no, I think you can resolve overclock before you resolve end of turn, because they trigger at the same point. But like it's just like how
But surely it's like floating into an execute, and you would miss the time.
I will look into that.
I'm pretty sure.
Hypothetically, I don't think it's the end of the world to leave it as safe for text, because in the case that it can do that, I don't think that's that broken for Superior.
I mostly just think it's a really funny thing to have for the quartz, where you have to do the maths where you need an additional body. So when you pay the 1 body for overclock, you still have lethal. I just want that to be a slightly annoying headspace.
Yeah, I like that. I like somebody in chat saying save space on the card, just make it evolve over every level 4 with save. That's also good.
Based, actually. I'm thinking of our favorite purple player, TommyNT.
Yeah. Yeah.
Is there anything else that we could give this card?
When Digivolving, draw 1, trash 1.
Oh wait, it's Purple Hunters. It's just gonna be draw 1.
Gain 1.
It's just gonna be draw 1.
Playing out a tamer from trash.
I thought this one killed the kids in the TV show.
Astamon. He's Psychmon.
Oh no,
right?
Astamon was. Never mind. I'm tripping. Yeah, he was like Psychmon is like taken over by Quartz.
Yeah, because he's Ryoma's. Maybe you should
Yeah,
play a Ryoma.
Ryoma's partner Digimon is like a meat puppet the whole time. It's not like a real Psychmon. Listen, guys. I think Draw One Trash One's pretty funny.
Wait, no, I've got it. You.
What's like a purple keyword that you can gain that's like you want to pass on to your Quartz? It would be like, when Digivolving gain this, so then you give the Quartzmon that effect.
I mean, we had a couple comments saying Scapegoat would have been fine. I think
no, Scapegoat's boring. I don't care how good it is. It's fucking boring.
What if
it just played a Psychmon from trash? What if it just plays Psychmon from trash? Because then you're giving yourself the body to overclock.
Oh yeah. Okay, so give it like a Growlmon X effect, where like if it is deleted this turn, you float into Psychmon.
Yeah, it's like when Digivolving until the end of opponent's turn, on deletion play Psych or something. Yeah, when it's like Balmon, right? It'd be like it's like
just like Balmon, yeah.
Yeah, gains. Yeah, exactly.
Great,
you got it.
Great job, guys.
PogChamp, we fixed
so this
it.
is now we've made Hunters the best Quartz deck again. We've made Hunters good.
It'd be so funny the Royal Knights.
It would be like, funny to have Royal Knights hate. Yeah.
Yeah, like it'd be so funny. I'll just kill your Quartz. Okay, float into Psych. Now what? infinite Psychs is so funny.
They could print you Andrew. They could print you a alternate art of this card that is continued art of the Floodgoat.
Instead of getting like the nice boots,
like a Voice to Man album cover. Yeah,
he's holding the bottle. And he's like, "Yer."
That's BT12 Ostmon for channel member King of Knights. Shout outs. This is another channel submission from channel member Tommy Tricks on the Sticks. Believe it or not, this isn't a meat card. He likes it too. Black Growlmon EX4. We're not the same person. Have you ever seen us in the same room at the same time?
Rulebox.
Okay, fix number Growlmon. 1. Yeah, exactly. We're also treated as Growlmon. Wow, awesome.
I mean, that helps.
On deletion, what can you add back?
The inherit is Gigimon again. You can add back Guilmon specifically, or the Growlmons and Gallantmons. So this technically can't add back the X antibody card for Guilmon X, but like,
make this play Takato from trash.
Cool.
Doesn't the 5 do that?
Yeah, but
more Takatos.
Yeah, more Takatos.
Okay. I've got a cool one.
It would have to be like if you have X amount in trash. Like I want this to be like.
Yeah, the War Growl is if you have 10 in trash.
This can be like if you have 5.
Would you want it to be faster, or would you want it to be second stack?
I think if it plays a Takato, it's both. I'm not gonna hold you. Like, I think if it's aggressively milling, adding back a piece, and playing maybe 2 Takatos at the same time, you can do whatever you want with it.
Okay.
Yeah, bro.
Wait, what if it does it on play?
Oh, then it works with Megidramon. That's sick.
Yeah.
Yeah, there you go. Okay, we fixed it. Wow, we're flying through these.
It should have a your turn where if a Digimon is deleted, I get a memory, like a Leviamon. Yeah. I think that's okay, because then it would have to be sat next to something when a Gallantmon kills something. Or
how about on deletion or your turn when you mill more?
Ooh, he's jingling keys in front of me and I'm taking them. Yeah. Yeah, for every 5 cards in your opponent's trash, add another card to the mill.
That's for Tessero. This card is now for Tessero.
Good. Sick. Cool. Let me mill you guys out. Cool, complex game plan, dickhead. Draw for turn.
Scramble.
Oh, let it eat a scramble.
No.
Oh, let it eat a scramble. No. Yummy delay cards.
Justimon has one fucking niche.
Yes.
I'm not giving that to you.
Justimon stole Lucimon's thing.
Good.
This
is crazy. This card is insane.
Good thing we don't make cards.
You know, I like to think we've balanced this one because we made Descent okay to pretty good actually. And now I'm printing this. I'm trying to get this card on a ban list, so, and I'm not just talking about Eden. Ooh, EX5 Dianamon.
you remember, Tom? Do you remember we're like, we should buy the Dianamon alts because she's clearly going to be the most expensive and playable of the two cards.
If I had waited, I would have saved like 40 pounds.
I don't know, man. She has block. Give her Ice Clad.
Great. Keyword change, give her Ice Clad.
Yep.
Love it. Really sick in Galaxy, because then she'll have like 20 sources.
Ooh, somebody's kind of cooking in the chat.
Giving what's it called? Giving Grace Nova ESSs is cool. I like that.
Yeah. Ooh, he just becomes a. Oh yeah, none of his shit's once
4
per turn.
damage.
He just becomes like a quad breaking.
Yeah.
Wait, doesn't that just give
Warg Melg
Yeah.
for every?
Yeah, you could OTK with the deck.
Like Omega owned?
Yeah, that would be fine though.
Yeah, she does.
I like the keyword Ice Clad the most though. I think that's cool. I think it should be better than Sorai. I think she should actually freeze something instead of stopping things from evolving and then getting a new source and then being able to swing anyway.
I'll just make it so you could make it no, never mind, actually. Make her hit tamers.
What, just Hexablow them?
Make her Hexablow. What if we just took all of the text on Hexablow?
Wait. What if you just made it so all of their Digimon, or are you saying all of their Digimon and tamers with no sources can't suspend? So you still lose your...
Yeah, like make her Malga. No. Just make her like the secret Malga. It's like you target Examon.
Malga's just freeze. She has to source.
Yeah.
Freeze. That's her thing.
Yeah, I think it would be cool if you stunned all tamers as well, because right now we've only got Goodnight Moon to like stop tamers from doing a thing, and like Hexablow having the bot deck is unique, but I think if you could just freeze tamers in place, that for some matchups that could be pretty cool.
I got it. Give her an on-play.
Wait, but
sure.
The tamer, right?
Yeah, but when
doesn't the tamer play them out from sources?
Oh, you're trying to bring back the blue tamer.
Yeah, Marcio's clearly making this Grace Novamon support.
Okay. On play.
I like it. On play, freeze a tamer.
Perfect. Fuck it, and freeze then, 2 tamers.
Well, we need to remember this for next week when I add Apollomon to the docket.
Wait.
Apollomon will get an on play, and it'll say on play, burner security.
Yeah.
For every Digimon with no sources. So you have to resolve the Diana, strip the board, and then next turn...
Kino. This is the coolest deck ever. I'd be if this deck did that shit, I'd be selling some of my Galamon cards.
We can swing in to suspend the tamers.
Oh, that's so funny. Wait, yeah, no, this is actually sick.
Oh, yeah, wait, the tamer's DNA...
The tamer does, yes, but... You could choose to give up the DNA to freeze a whole board of tamers.
Okay, how about we just like...
Yeah, because you don't have to DNA, but you can just have it.
What if we just like let the tamer like trigger the on play? That would be fixing the tamer, not this card.
Yeah.
I think the fact that you're already getting a block... Remember, if you choose to give up on this, you've frozen everything, and if they still evolve to play, you are then... still an unsuspend blocker that's 12k.
This card just on play solos Crossheart.
Yeah.
The game's over.
Well, sure. Yeah, because we're doing it based on the number of frozen Digimon.
Yeah. So they get none of their material save on any of their cards, from hand. And then I murder Taiki Kudo.
Should have crossed from hand.
Pretty funny.
I do want to give this an ESS for Grace Nova. I think that's like one of the coolest things.
Yeah, I like that a lot.
Just like ESS, if you're Grace Nova.
Well, hang on. You know what no, never mind. Shoot.
Do we want to... Is it like Grace Nova? Sorry.
Galaxy is the tag for Grace Nova.
Okay.
It's also the only Galaxy Digimon.
I think
is there a Grace Nova X?
There is no Grace Nova X.
I think what we do is, instead of Galaxy, I think we pay back homage to the fact that Grace Nova was the first named DNA. And specifically write the full Grace Novamon in the ESS.
Or you give her an ESS for Light Fang so you can unsuspend your Apollo. I'm kind of cooking now.
Yeah, you're making the best red deck of all time.
As it should be. If you're gonna print that much amount of memory, end the fucking
better
game
win the
already.
game.
End the game. Get me out.
Okay, so what's the timing on the when attacking? If you have 2 Dianas, can you whiff, or are you just going get in there, Apollo? The game's over.
Like,
Light Fang, Nightclaw, unsuspend when attacking.
It's not a you may unsuspend, it's like you have to do it.
Yeah,
so then,
it's like Mirage. That would balance it.
I don't want Apollo swinging 3 times. I'm cool with 2 times, not cool with 3 times.
So LFNC/Galaxy.
Yeah.
This is great too, because the next time they print the next time they print Digimon World Dawn Dusk support, like there's a chance they do not these lines. Like we might eventually get Chaos Galantmon and Afanimon and stuff. So like that would be a cool thing to try out.
Yeah,
there we go. This makes Apollo a better card.
Dude, this is the coolest card we've changed here. You made it sick.
This was a really funny. Oh,
guys, it's Geen Imperial Dramon Dragon mode. This is a submission from channel member Shinny Carey.
Of course it would be. What does he want?
So I want to point something out before we get into this, because I think it's funny for Liam specifically that he asked for this one. Like, yeah, this is a card the Imperial players liked, but I'm going to throw it all away, and I'm going to make this unusable in Blue-Green Imperial, because this Dragon mode is a virus.
Oh, yeah.
So this is Virus Imperial support when we're done with it.
So what you're saying is we have to make this card better than
the best. Yeah, we have to make this card the best Virus Imperial Dragon mode.
I was gonna make this like the best like green Omni card. I was gonna like let you fucking cast HPD. This card's purpose should be to be a bridge for green Omni. Green decks should be able to make an Omni. That's the only thing this card's good for.
This is horrific.
There's so many places we have to fix this card in.
Yeah, because you also
Marcio,
have to fix it under the context.
If we put it in Virus Imperial, you'll be able to turn it into an Omni because it'll be red.
Okay, so first you can give it like a DNA condition. Like
it's a secret rare. Let's make it 3 colors. Let's make it green, red, purple.
Sure.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay.
So that's value.
Give it a DNA condition.
Yeah, let it evolve over. Do we want to say DNA, specifically Pyldramon and Denobimon?
Yeah. It would. Yeah. Is it text or value? Okay. Yeah. Text, value, whatever.
That's a text box change.
Yeah.
Oh, hello, Jade.
Yes. Wash the Digimon artist, Kaylin Muriel.
Oh my god.
I'm not good.
A cameo.
Yeah, she was out revising and being a studied learning person. Meanwhile,
when are we getting her on the pod? Finally, someone with experience.
When she's done with her coursework, then we can finally exercise that idea we had 40 episodes ago, where we have someone draw in the background of the podcast.
I could see
artist.
Get the arts troop together.
Yeah, they take over. Okay.
Anyway, that's 2 changes.
So the card already in suspense and already has piercing. The deck has security attack +1 and a bunch of DP, so you're already like kind of cooking your opponent.
And end of turn, it evolves into fighter mode.
So do you want to make this card like when it deletes something, gain a memory?
Yeah, I was gonna say we haven't like all we've done is like put things on it, and the card is still asked. Like it doesn't do anything.
Gain memory. Keep turn.
Sure. So
does it have to keep turn?
Well, because like the fighter is gonna you pay 2 to go into dragon. How much security?
What if it costs 0, but you did it at end of turn?
Oh, without paying cost.
Yeah, just end of turn, evolve into fighter mode. That's kind of funny too.
Oh, sorry, this is a dragon mode. I keep getting them fucking confused.
Yeah, so what I'm saying is, it would be really funny if this thing like it gives Virus Imperial a way to floodgate. Like if you get your full board cleared, but you have a battle NPC, you can you can just hard play this, give your opponent 10, and then end of turn floodgate them. Please let me do bad things to this card. It evolved for free into a fighter mode.
Yeah.
And there's the HPD bit. Haha, it cheated the cards.
Yeah, it paid 0 for the evolution.
We did it. We made this card more playable.
Wait.
And it's 3 colors now, which
what
is
if
going to
it
look
didn't
really
evolve
ugly.
into a fighter mode? What if it just evolved What if it just
evolved? You would evolve into Paladin?
Turn into Paladin, turn into OmniX.
Yeah, bro. You're red. It's a purple card. So you're talking about on play for 10, end of turn make ruin mode.
Yeah.
You gave them 10. Okay.
Some decks are dead. You know what? That's funny though.
This can't go into ruin for free. This cannot go into ruin for free.
Fine.
Okay, what if it has to go into a red level? It can evolve into a red card without paying the cost. That gives you fighter mode. That gives you Omni.
Just evolve into Imperial Dramon.
Crimson Ace
for free.
Crimson Ace will be really fucking funny.
You go swing at something, beat over, unsuspend, pierce, do 2 damage, and then you just go, I'll pass turn, evolve into Crimson. Oh wait, he doesn't blitz.
Yeah, it doesn't have rush either.
Evolve and attack.
What if? God, why don't we just give it like Primogenitor?
Oh, true.
Like all turns Primogenitor effect.
Wait, yeah.
Wouldn't that be the effect on this instead? Then it would be like if this card is deleted, evolve into fighter mode instead of like end of turn.
Sounds sick.
No,
end of turn, you may delete this Digimon. All turns evolve.
But then you have to get rid of something.
Get rid of the GRP. That's fine.
No, it needs to be red purple.
It needs to be red purple.
Shit, you're right.
That's what I'm saying.
DNA?
If we're trying to make this card a virus card, you have to fix it by changing its colors. Well, no, you could realistically.
I don't think we can make this card good, guys.
No. Hear me out.
Save it.
The fighters already evolve in name without meeting color, so you can get rid of the the 3 colors. And then that way, you just keep the DNA.
It's green in Virus Imperial. They're not gonna find it.
They're just gonna draw like 800 cards. They find by Imperial in name, right?
Yeah, the Wormmon searches Imperial in name, but like they're trying to like push boosts and stuff on it now.
Yeah,
like sometimes. You know what? I guess you could make it Analog Youth and Mist Mem Turbo, right?
Yeah.
Like,
and the Dino Bee adds back from the track.
Does it add back any Imperial?
It would be Imperially named.
Yeah,
right?
that'll be fine then.
All right, then now we can give it something broken.
Like end of turn, evolve into fighter mode for free.
And then you can add another thing to make it more broken.
All right, yeah, that would be there we go.
All right, Tom, what do you want on this card to be more broken?
I want this card to. I'm thinking. Okay, I'm gonna pull from a different card game here.
Okay.
You know how Virus Imperial and Liberator was like rewriting cards to stop like the opponents being able to beat it?
Yeah.
Goodness gracious.
There's a card in Pokemon that I think about a lot that was like, when they came up with this, they were trying to stop your opponent being able to play their own cards. And that card is Gengar and Mimikyu Tag Team GX. It has a move called Horror House.
Yeah, I'm familiar.
It did used to be a thing that was trouble on broadcast. People used to say that name a little too quickly. But Horror House lets you. It costs 1 psychic, and it stops your opponent playing cards from their hand for a full turn.
You're already floodgating them out with the fighter mode. So you want to give this another floodgate?
I do. I think Virus Imperial should floodgate your opponent for an entire turn.
You can't evolve.
Yeah, I think basically it can't evolve.
HenaLinks players will have no identity.
So
we're combining the HenaLinks cards into one.
So it's end of turn of. Are we still evolving into fighter mode?
No. Well, yeah, end of turn evolve into fighter mode, but it's also end of your turn. Your opponent can't play cards from their hand, and it's the best Digimon card ever printed.
So no by effect, no.
Maybe it's like.
Did you put a DP on it?
We literally can't just say your opponent picks up their deck and leaves. We can't write that, right? Like that's not an option. So what we have to do is we have to think of a way for this card to fairly do that. So maybe they have to do something.
Pick up HPD.
No. Shut up, Marcio. Hear me out. What we're gonna make them do is until it's like Oh shit, I'm gonna say this live on the internet. Have you guys played Balatro? There's this boss fight in Balatro where until you get rid of something you own, you can't play a hand, or your hand doesn't do anything. So like until I use a delay or summon by effect or play by effect, I can't play from hand. I'm saying like we should make them use something else before they're allowed to play normal Digimon.
Sometimes I think like maybe we need less cards per episode because like we've used all of our like good thinking
There's
brain
nothing
cells.
left in this one. Guys, what if the card was red, purple, and green, evolved over the names, and end of turn evolved into fighter mode? What do we think?
No. Give it yellow. What if you just give it bad color?
What if this was the first 6-color card?
Yeah, what if you make it
Andrew, I'd like to ask for a second change where it has every color.
Yeah, I think that's the change. You just give it every color.
Oh, God. All right, that's for Shinny Carry.
That's for just for you, buddy.
That's for him. VC4 Mirage.
Oh, no. No. Can we give a security attack +3?
Card not suck? Okay, so I have this idea, right? What if all turns every time your opponent?
Every time your opponent.
What if every time your opponent added a card to their hand, you took a memory for every 4 cards they had? Except memory gain could be beaten by a floodgate, so I think it should make them lose memory.
Yeah, make it better, actually. Don't let, like, purple play around it by having Gazi out.
Wait. What if we... Tom, you love an if no.
I love an if no, dude. What if we do the podcast? If no, I'll make us do patch note party.
Gain 1 memory for every 4 cards in your opponent's hand. If this effect gained no memory... Bouncer level 3.
I was gonna say bounce security.
Bounce level 3. Yeah, make them draw their security until they have 4.
Well, I was more kind of implying that. Wait, draw their security until they have mass
if they have 0 cards in hand, they should have to pick up 4 security.
No, but like you're not hand looping it.
That's not what Tom. I'm saying when you're under a memory floodgate and you go It's
but I'm saying if you gain no memory because they floodgate you, now they take damage.
Make it evolve for 2, actually.
Make it evolve for 2. Andrew, make the card evolve for 2.
I'm like, okay, this card, the benefit of like Mirage is that it's like a 2-cost evo. This should just evolve for 2, actually.
What if I scramble into this for nothing?
Wait, what if it? Okay, what if you gain nothing, play a Thomas?
I'm fine with this card playing Thomas.
Great, love it. Take it.
Not even just like
when did you play Thomas?
No. When attacking, not once per turn, play Thomas. So you swing, play out a Thomas, and make it an OTK machine.
You just said all 4s. You just said play all 4.
Dude,
yes,
that's all for us. What? Okay.
When attacking, play a Tamer. That's pretty. Play Thomas. You have to play not Tamer. It has to be Thomas H. Nardsey.
Thomas hate. No, what about Nikolai?
What about Nikolai? Fuck
Nikolai. Nikolai's
what
broke.
if? All right, guys. What if it had Ice Cloud and bot deck Tamers?
What if when the opponent evolved by effect, it evolved into Mirage Burst mode on the opponent's turn?
Yeah, and it made them pick up their security.
Well, actually, make it Invisimon. After it swings, it disappears so you can evolve into the good Mirage.
When did you add a Mirage Galgamon from your trash to your hand?
Wait. What if you make this Lightfall Night client?
Yeah, it's a Nightclaw card too.
Yeah,
sure.
There we go.
A life like Nightclaw card that evolves for 2.
Conversational Stein. Or Nikolai, what's his name? Or a Tamer Messiah. It's just a giant fucking text block. You know what? Like,
Okay,
wow,
we
the
need-
Atmon plays any purple tamer. How could they do this? Because this is the alternative. When you have 3 government names.
You give it every name.
I still think this card should fuck off so you can evolve into BT11 Mirage. I'm dead serious.
Yeah, I mean, that's why you go
Guys,
Silent
I think you're really sleeping on my all turns idea. I think it was really good. Stop making me look at this card, Andrew. We're done with this one.
Oh,
Kurimon BT6.
What do you want me to do about this asshole? Like, how do you want me to fix a fucking... Okay, make it play itself.
yeah.
There
sure.
you go. That's for starters.
And then on play Digivolve 1.
Look, man, I might be the fucking Picasso of Digimon, but even Picasso has limits. Oh, man, can we make Floodgate Memory Terrier a little bit better? Bro, it's a Terriermon that floodgates for memory. What do you want me to do?
What if this thing, text change, name, or sorry, also treated as having Bagra Army and D Brigade in its tags?
What is D Brigade about this card?
It was in D Brigade
It was in
for
D
a long
Brigade for a
time.
while.
Oh,
And it's in Bagra. Okay.
it was in D
That is a
Brigade.
really interesting. That is a really
The bar's
interesting
on
one.
the floor.
Guys, this is the worst episode of Misplay for Game in a year.
I'm cool with like Bagra on play Digivolve 1.
Yeah, so Digivolve from security, play from security, on play Digivolve.
Wait, what if instead of Digivolve out of security? Actually, no. It's better to have.
Sorry,
That's why it's good.
what if the only thing that the card does, it doesn't do?
Look, I was about to just say, but I think it's probably better that it's a security effect, right? Because like I'm trying to think about stuff that only turns off options, still dies to this insecurity. I was gonna say for every Chikurimon on the field. Oh, actually no, wait. Why don't we take the new Digivolve? Trash the top card of a stack for every Chikurimon on board. So if you end up
Genius, I love it.
if you
Replace
end
We
the
up
run
on-play
out of
with that.
space.
No, replace the on-play with that.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
on play, trash top card.
Yeah, because half the text on this card, Marcio, is Digivolve reminder text.
yeah.
I was gonna say we should just make any card that like this should just be like a tiny Invisimon. End of attack, put this motherfucker at the bottom of security. End of turn, play it out. More cards would be better if they were just Invisimon.
Treat it as cyborg.
We ran out of space.
We're out of changes.
Yeah.
That's Chikurimon. Chikuri heads in the chat. Get at us. We did a good job.
Any chick heads in the chat?
Okay, so this one's here.
Ugh.
This one's here. You can scroll to the other two. Scroll to the other two really quickly as well. They're here as a trio. These are just the starters from Digimon Time Survivors. What's the game called?
Time Stranger.
Time Stranger. Yeah, these are just the starters from Time Stranger. So I thought what if their promos were good?
Why did you put this on the longest patch note party of all time?
I don't know. This was just some of the list.
All right, I'll tell you how to fix the archetype from the get-go. Okay.
Wait, which one are we starting with, Marcio?
I don't
Wait,
know.
we
You
want to
can
do one
pick.
each?
This is how you make rookies good, okay? One of the rookies is going to be a searcher. The other one is going to have evolution reduction, and then the other one is going to be a floodgate. There you go. I fixed your Time Stranger tagged deck for you.
Oh, are we gonna make them all Time Stranger
Yeah,
tags?
I'm just putting that there.
Cool.
If that's why
All
you're
right,
doing this,
yeah,
that's
all
what they're getting.
Okay,
Patamon's a searcher because I like him, and he should search for Great Angels.
search for Time Stranger / Great Angel / Olympus 12.
Yeah. Honestly, top 3 yellow card. We just fixed Ascent of the Great. Sorry, we've just fixed the Ascent of the Great Angels. Let me search it off the Patamon, actually.
Chat. Hey, chat, lay off. We just fixed Descent of the Great Angels. What do you want from us?
No. You have too much text, Andrew. Just make it search top 3 and a yellow card.
Yeah, but then how will it search?
And Time Stranger. Wait, no, ignore what he
said. Sorry,
yeah. Perfect.
Oh, thank you. That somebody in the chat put that it's already tagged. The scent is already tagged.
Excellent.
He spelled Descent wrong. Mods ban him.
All right, so the Patamon's a searcher because I like him, and it makes give him a ESS. You know, Angemon, he should have on deletion, recover 1 actually. So when your Angemon dies, you recover 2 in Angels. Let's make Angels the best deck.
I like it. I have one for Gomamon. Are you ready?
Yeah, go on.
So Gomamon, like Marcia said,
You want him to be the
I want him to
floodgate
be
or the
another floodgate in blue. 900 blue
Wait, but
floodgates.
Gomamon just got a floodgate. He's the adventure.
900 blue floodgates.
What are they missing now?
Gomamon is a floodgate, and he stops you playing Digimon by effects.
Oh no! You can't do that. Oh,
So
make him Aqua Tag. Make him Aqua Tag.
Yeah, so shut up. So he's Time Stranger. No, change Time Stranger tagged and Aqua.
Okay.
Yeah, Time Stretch Aqua. Let me have a good floodgating fish.
Okay, so now his text is Pomamon, so that the fish player can spit it out and end their turn with it.
Yeah.
And then his last text change is, this is a floodgate with an ESS.
Right.
And it is you were gonna change when you trash a Digivolution card of one of your opponents, gain a memory. And it will be if you do not trash, unsuspend.
Oh, amazing.
And ignore the fact, and we'll keep it once per turn, because otherwise it would be an infinite number of attacks on an empty board.
Yeah. Hexablamon's favorite Gomamon.
So 900
perfect.
blue floodgates, part 9, a second Gomamon.
Right, and then Demi Devi, who is
Go on, Andrew.
because he's purple,
the-
we should make him the worst of the three just to be safe.
Evolution
Good
reaction,
one.
because you're promoting a 3, right? In purple,
I'm
you
really
promoted
surprised
3.
Marcio didn't take this, because I thought he would be stoked at the idea of making Barbamon support.
No, I'm so done. I'm so done.
Andrew, save this card.
Ooh, Barbamon support actually goes crazy. It's So
I think
obviously it's
this is
time
the
stranger
last
tag.
batch.
Listen, chat. The feedback is heard. We won't do 11 next time. Wait, how many?
I
was
think
it?
this is the last 3, because they were meant to be like...
Yeah.
Yeah, this is the last 3.
So
I actually this was 13. But the
no,
last 3
yes,
don't
yes.
count. The last 3 are like one thing. So we did 10 last time. I got 10 this time.
Yeah, this is a
Like,
lightning round. What we're gonna do is we're gonna make him Barbamon support. He's gonna on play trash.
Your opponent just has to trash 2. Just make the opponent trash 2.
No, for every
I don't care that every purple deck would just infinitely loop him to just hand loop the opponent.
no. You do for every 4 cards in your trash. Your opponent pitches 1 card from their hand.
4 cards? What the? Why 4?
Because it in Japan it means death. So we make
Genius.
we make the virus. the little
900 years
hand
of
death.
custom flavor.
Yeah,
That's
so,
why he has a games design degree, guys.
boy.
And then this is supposed to evolve for one last, right? Into a Time Stranger or Devimon or what are the Bagra tags?
Mollusk. Let me put him in the deep saver engine.
What if this thing just did all of the stuff the mollusks did as well, but better?
What if you just on delete also just trash the top 2 cards of your deck?
Yeah.
What if hear me out. You know Secret Gallantmon's a pretty good card, right? And he just does the same thing with 3 different keywords. What if this is on play, on delete, when digivolving? And then if you could think of a way to evolve a Devimon into something else, you can get that. I got nothing, man.
Actually,
This is all yours.
on play, on delete is really funny.
Hey chat, I got no idea.
All right.
You know that you guys know that meme where it's like the dude doing the puzzle and it's like 2 pieces and he's like, you figure it out, smart guy.
Okay, for the 4 cards in trash, is that a when digivolving, when attacking, or an on play, or a...
Oh, actually, now that I think about it, it was stitched onto the on play, so maybe.
So
I see what you're saying.
That's cool. That's cool. So you don't have to add an on play, on delete. You can have that as a freebie.
Yeah. Oh, so
But we get one more thing. Okay, yeah.
Should he just evolve into Devimon for 1 cost? That is Devimon in Barbamon? I don't know.
Yeah, there is a Devimon and Barbamon.
Sure.
It's a fallen angel.
Angel.
That's the tag they want you to use.
All the
Slash
Time
Stranger.
Yeah, / Time Stranger.
Slash.
Olympus
But 2
12.
less, actually. You should just evolve into them.
Olympus 12
Olympus 12.
and purple.
I was actually gonna say, what if we just did Dark Dragon? Because like
Like Devidramon.
Yeah, Devidram. I was gonna say that just because also like isn't Atmon an evil and he
Oh
turns into
yeah,
Dark
you're
Dragon,
giving
so
Yuki
this
support.
yeah, random
Genius.
Yuki support.
Oh, this is great.
There we go. There we
No,
go.
one less, two less. You're purple.
What if it was free? Would you rather have $1 or $2?
Yeah,
I'd
would you
rather
rather
have
have
$1. I'm a humble man.
Wow.
I would rather have $1 so it can keep me on my Sigma grind set focus.
Yeah, $1
Alright,
and
chat.
dinner with Jay-Z.
I think I'm all Digimon out. I can't keep deciding these cards.
Chat, for Boko, do you want to see our morning routine where we wake up and drink from big, expensive blue glass bottles of water?
Now, I can put my own shoes on, so Emily has to also wake up and put shoes on me.
That's what Cool Boy does for my Galantmon deck. He puts my shoes on.
Yeah, I think
that's patch. That's patch no party.
Yeah.
I was so excited, and then
I forgot to close the window before this recording, and it got dark in here during the run of that, which I think is like an interesting like view into my mind space after an hour and a half of patch note party.
Yeah, that was crazy. Tom once again held us hostage for a game show, which is usually my job. But yeah, next week I have no idea what the game show will be. It might be Lethal or Living. So if I stream during the week, you should tune in to get mono coins. And if you haven't already followed us on Twitch, it's a free way to get 300 mono coins, so you can lose them all gambling. Thank you to everyone for tuning into the podcast and the game show that was most of the podcast. We are on Spotify, YouTube, and and Apple Podcast. That's the one. Yeah, if you liked the episode, make sure to like it when you watch the VOD. And if you're a champion level champion level member, then you'll get access to the bonus content that we're going to try and shoot something short and cheerful. And it will come out in a month if you're not a champion. Thank you to everyone that's been getting us up to nearly 50 memberinos. If you want to help us hit the big 5-0, you can join for as little as £1 a month. And we'll see you next week on Saturday at I think it's either 6 or 7 p.m. start. We'll have Meaty Kage on. So yeah, look forward to that. Join the Discord so you can find out other updates and stuff.
I want to plug one more time to listen to Spotify and Apple Podcasts, and rate us on there. That would be a big help for a thing I'm trying to do. Thank you.
Yeah. All right. Yeah, we're gonna get out of here and not actually get out of here and go record some more content. The grind never stops, but y'all are here for exactly one reason, so we're gonna stop talking.
Bye.